64%. Chapter 381. As soon as this news came out, everyone was boiling. Lin Haoyang had them lose a lot of soul crystals in the last game, so they didn't just want Lin Haoyang to lose the gambling fight. If you put your life on it, that would be great. Soon, Lin Haoyang saw the opponent of Own. The man was wearing an animal skin and holding a huge leg bone. The top of the leg bone was connected to the skull of an unknown demonic beast. This equipment, just looking at it, looked like a primitive, but Lin Haoyang did not underestimate it, because these demonic beasts' bones are all tier 5, no worse than tier 5 leg bones in his hand. In terms of weapons, he does not have the slightest advantage. In addition, this person's cultivation base makes Lin Haoyang feel even more headache. His strength has reached the peak of Golden Core, the level of Golden Core 9th level. Although Lin Haoyang defeated Golden Core late-stage opponents before, but now he does not have an advantage in magical item, and he is not completely sure. Besides, if Zhen Yu is not there, his strength will be greatly reduced. Everyone, this fellow Taoist and our 5-time champions are going to have a top gambling battle. The profit ratio of both sides is still 1-2. Welcome everyone to place bets. Earn the losses. At the same time, he looked at Sun Ning to see if she would bet again. If he dared to bet this time, he would have to lose to Grandma's house. However, Sun Ning just looked at the two people in the field and kept applauding. He didn't even like to bet at all. When the dealer saw this, his face was full of anger, and he didn't know what to think about. For this kind of gambler who wants to run after making money, the dealer generally won't let you do what you want. Either you lose the money or they take it back themselves. Although Sun Ning didn't set out to place a bet, Sun Yi walked slowly to the dealer and pulled out 2 fist-sized pieces of the Soul Yuanjing, and said, "Press that Golden Core 4-layer cultivator." The dealer was stunned for a while, and then he was stunned. Didn't he see the situation in the field? This shows the situation that Lin Haoyang will lose. Does Lin Haoyang have any other tricks to earth-shaking? The dealer shook his head. He was extremely confident in the people on his side. Therefore, he assumed that Su Yi was the god of wealth who came to give away the soul, so he asked Sun Yi to place a bet. The people around saw that someone had placed another heavy bet on Lin Haoyang, suspecting that the dealer might be playing a counterfeit match, so they quietly added some on Lin Haoyang's side. Sun Yi's 2 fast fist-sized soul crystals, he saw Lin Haoyang's income ratio from 1-2, to 1-1.5. Soon everyone bet was finished. 95% of people bet Lin Haoyang to lose, only 0.5% of people bet Lin Haoyang to win. However, because of Sun Yi's heavy bet, the gambling gap between the two sides is not very large. Lin Haoyang lost only 20% more than Sun Yi's side. The betting is over and the gambling battle begins. The dealer closed the plate and shouted immediately. Opposite Lin Haoyang, the animal skin man waved the drum in his hand and said, "Boy, I know you have hidden some methods before, so use them all, otherwise you won't have a chance in the future." Lin Haoyang frowned. It seemed that this person was not good at coming. If this is the case, he doesn't need to keep his hands anymore. I saw Lin Haoyang's black spirit power skyrocketing, and his muscles had regular rhythms. Before fighting, the terrifying power compressed Lin Haoyang's spirit power crazily. Such a scene changed the expressions of everyone in the audience. If Lin Haoyang was said to be a goat before, now Lin Haoyang is a wolf and a tiger. The animal skin man's complexion changed. He had speculated before that Lin Haoyang must have hidden his strength, but he did not expect that Lin Haoyang would have reached such a level when he reached the strength. Judging from the vision of Lin Haoyang's outbreak, Lin Haoyang's strength is probably not below him. The dealer saw this scene with gloomy eyes. If it weren't for the animal skin man, I'm afraid he would be carried in Lin Haoyang's hands again today. Even if Lin Haoyang showed such strength, he still had confidence in the animal skin people. Soon, Lin Haoyang handed over the animal skin. What Lin Haoyang didn't expect was that the strength of the animal skin man was also extremely great, probably reaching the level of 50,000 caddies. Coupled with the strength of the 9th level peak of the Golden Core, he was able to fight Lin Haoyang without losing the wind. Lin Haoyang became more frightened as he fought. He wanted to defeat the animal skin man. It shouldn't be that simple, but the animal skin man wanted to defeat him. It was not that easy. The leg bones in Lin Haoyang's hands are not dominant, and every time it collides with the animal skin man's bone hammer, it will fall into the wind every time. However, Lin Haoyang was not in a hurry at all. Just to take advantage of this, insight into the second form of the ape. Now that Cao Ying has learned the violent blood, she is forcing him to ask him the second type of cultivation technique. He has been looking for things to shirk before, but it can't be delayed for too long, and it will be exposed sooner or later. In order to avoid embarrassment, Lin Haoyang decided to incite second form. The first form is explosive and domineering, then his second form is domineering. The second style was inspired by Su Yi's use of a human sword, which really shocked Lin Haoyang at the time. His heavy sword cultivation technique wanted this kind of domineering. The first type of violent blood qi is condensed into sword qi, is extremely domineering, and the second type, Tianfang, must have the domineering power to cut the world. Lin Haoyang became more and more interested, and the animal skin man fought harder and harder. Lin Haoyang's power seemed to be endless. No matter how much power he used, Lin Haoyang could take it. What made him even more speechless was that Lin Haoyang could only attack but couldn't defend, and from time to time he showed suspiciousness, which made him feel extremely atmosphere. After a quarter of an hour, the animal skin man finally couldn't stand it anymore, and shouted. Deception too much. Burning blood. With the fury of the animal skin man, his whole body's skin became blood red, like a cooked crab. Because of the high temperature of the body, the moisture in the animal skin person turned into steam and rushed out of the body, and then his muscles showed irregular bulges. This is the final card of the animal skin man. This kind of cultivation technique that stimulates potential can increase his power ascension to 1.5 times. In other words, the animal skin man can use 75,000 caddies of terrifying power at this moment. The bone hammer was wrapped in the steam from the animal skin man and became extremely dangerous. If you don't pay attention, a piece of flesh and blood will be taken away. In severe cases, it is very likely to die under this hammer. When Lin Haoyang saw the animal skin man hit with a hammer, he was not surprised and rejoiced. He realized that the second form of Tianfang had reached the most critical moment, and it was time to use it to practice. Lin Haoyang was careless, but Sun Ning on the side was about to die, because in his opinion, Lin Haoyang was obviously not an opponent. She could tell at a glance that the animal skin man is a body cultivator, so Lin Haoyang's advantage would be lost, and the animal skin man used the secret method. Lin Haoyang was probably not the opponent. Sun Yi looked at Lin Haoyang, her eyes narrowed slightly. Her cultivation base had reached nascent soul, and she saw things more thoroughly. From the very beginning, Sun Yi could see that Lin Haoyang was not doing her best. It seemed that Lin Haoyang was using the animal skin man to try the cultivation technique. As the battle became more and more anxious, although Lin Haoyang's aura became lower and lower, she saw an extremely sharp aura in Lin Haoyang. Although the sharp aura was not up to her human sword technique, it was already extremely terrifying. The most important thing was that Lin Haoyang's move seemed to be half finished. Good coming, Tianfang. Lin Haoyang shouted angrily, only raised the demonic beast's leg bones, and only smashed at the drum hammer from the animal skin man. 64%. Chapter 382. The demonic beast's leg bones in Lin Haoyang's hand are round, and they are not sharp at all. In the eyes of the animal skin people, it is not a leg bone, but a peerless sword. The leg bones gave him the feeling that it was extremely sharp, a danger that could cut him open spontaneously, but he could not retreat, and once retreated was to admit his failure. If he loses to the same rank, he can still accept it, but if he loses to Lin Haoyang, a golden core 4-layer existence, how will this make him confused in the future? Therefore, the animal skin man knew the horror of Lin Haoyang's strike, and still faced the difficulties. With extreme sharpness, the leg bones in Lin Haoyang's hand slashed towards the animal skin man's bone hammer. The collision sound in the past did not appear. The animal skin man only felt a light in his hand, and the strength accumulated in his body, as if being pierced, leaked out frantically. The whole body steam also quickly dissipated, and the animal skin man returned to its original state. Without a fierce collision, Lin Haoyang's leg bones were like a sharp sword, directly smashing the bones of the animal skin man. Lin Haoyang's hand was still in the air, still deeply remembering the blow he had just made, and finally shook his head, not satisfied with his move. Although the sharpness is enough, his control over it is far from enough. Bump. With a soft sound, the leg bones of demonic beasts in Lin Haoyang's hand suddenly shattered and turned into broken bones. The others were all dumbfounded as they watched the battle between the two. What did they see just now? Lin Haoyang turned a leg bone into a sharp sword, and directly chopped off the animal skin man's bone. The cross-section was as smooth as a mirror. He couldn't think of any damage caused by a leg bone. Big sis, when did Lin Haoyang learn our cultivation technique? Sun Ning asked blankly with an incredible face. Sun Yi had a higher vision, and at a glance, he could see that Lin Haoyang's sharp aura was derived from her human sword, but it had nothing to do with his human sword. In other words, this was the cultivation technique created by Lin Haoyang, and Sun Yi was shocked and difficult to suppress. What kind of enchantment can be grasped by just looking at it? The most important thing is that Lin Haoyang's own cultivation technique has not been perfected yet. If it is completely perfected, what extent can it reach? Can it surpass the human knife? While Sun Yi was thinking hard, the animal skin man got up again. He was already desperate in his heart, but when Lin Haoyang's leg was broken, there was a glimmer of hope in his heart. He hasn't lost yet, there is still a chance. Seeing the animal skin man stood up again, Lin Haoyang did not feel sad but rejoiced, grabbed a virtual sword in his hand, and condensed a sword of killing intent in his hand, saying, "Very well, use your best, I'm going to be serious." Having said that, Lin Haoyang carried the sword of killing intent and rushed towards the animal skin man. Before, Lin Haoyang had never held the sword of killing intent with his hand. Now, the sword of killing intent and Tianfang merge into one. Chi further sword. The animal skin man was full of horror. He was scared. Lin Haoyang could crush him with a sword while holding a leg bone. Now he was holding a sword. How could he fight? Didn't this colorful bubble world block divine sense? Where did the sword in Lin Haoyang's hand come from? Lin Haoyang got closer and closer, and the sharp aura became stronger and stronger. Before it was cut off, the animal skin man felt a really tingling pain from his own skin. "I surrender." The animal skin man was full of horror. At the moment when Lin Haoyang's killing intent sword fell, he shouted to admit defeat. Lin Haoyang frowned, and the killing intent sword stopped on the animal skin man's head. The sharp sword Chi cut off. A strand of his hair landed slowly. A look of regret appeared on Lin Haoyang's face. Just now with this sword, Lin Haoyang obviously felt that there was a lot of power, but the animal skin man gave in. No way, Lin Haoyang was not an indiscriminate killer, and immediately scattered the killing intent sword, regardless of the animal skin man sitting on the ground, using his hand as a knife, still making gestures. Everyone in the audience was dumbfounded. How could the golden core cultivator be so strong? Could it be that Lin Haoyang is a nascent soul boss who deliberately pretended to be so? When everyone was in a daze, Lin Haoyang came to the front and said, "I won, should I give the gambling money to me?" The dealer was stunned, looking at Lin Haoyang's eyes, but as if he was about to split him in half, without any hesitation, he sent Lin Haoyang's original 2-egg soul crystal and 2 fist-sized souls to Lin Haoyang's hand, superior. This time, he did not speak, fearing that Lin Haoyang would practice swords with him. Lin Haoyang collected the soul essence crystal. Just when he was about to leave, Sun Yi walked over and only heard her coldly saying to the owner, "Where is the original crystal of my soul?" The village owner trembled, and the chill on Su Yi's body made him feel even more frightened, but Su Yi's bed was too big, and even the original spirit was 5 fist-sized soul crystals. He couldn't get it out for a while, so he could only find people to collect it one by one. Fortunately, many people who bought animal skins won this game. The soul crystals that Lin Haoyang, Sun Ning, and Sun Yi had almost won all the money they had previously earned. In other words, they had been busy for a long time, which was equivalent to doing nothing. The dealer looked at the back of Lin Haoyang and the 3 people walking away, and immediately understood that these 3 people were actually a group. Lin Haoyang pretends to be a pig and eats old food, while the other 2 bet heavily and win a lot of soul element crystal from him. He stupidly gave Lin Haoyang 3 times the price and asked him to fight again, but the dealer was so angry that he pulled away from the crowd and came to a black man in front of him, saying, "Senior, shall we?" With that, the dealer made a gesture around his neck, apparently asking if he should get rid of Lin Haoyang and the 3 of them. "Ha, a bunch of idiots, do you think people dare to come and hit the market? Don't you have any skills?" If I guess it is right, the cold-faced one should also be a nascent soul cultivator. As for the gambling player, you don't even know him. He is Lin Haoyang, the sect leader of the Xuanzhen sect who has been in the limelight recently. You pass by the chassis, but Hai doesn't even know the master. The black robe man said angrily. Hearing Nascent Soul and Lin Haoyang, the dealer was also taken aback. Compared to Nascent Soul, they didn't want to provoke Lin Haoyang. I heard that he was placed under the door of Hidao Danang. There are also 3 seniors on it, all of them are extremely cruel. The dealer's body trembled, but fortunately he didn't go to find his death. Now outside of the colorful bubble world, there are two of his Washan seniors guarding. With a sigh, the black-robe cultivator said, "Okay, prepare to change a place. These people's soul crystals are basically drained." In fact, the three of Lin Haoyang were only on guard. After all, they won so many soul crystals, the dealer would not let them go easily, but they waited for a long time and no one caught up. Lin Haoyang and the others could only start to divide the spoils. Although Lin Haoyang said that it would be divided into 5 to 5, Su Yi refused, because they relied on chasing Lin Haoyang and won the soul Yuanjing no less than Lin Haoyang. In total, everyone can get more than 2 fist-sized soul crystals. Lin Haoyang couldn't help but reluctantly accepted it. Seeing that no one came to catch up, Lin Haoyang and the others didn't bother to wait any longer. After looking for a quiet place, they began to refine the soul element. This kind of thing is most assured after refining. 64%. Chapter 383. 2 hours later, the 3 souls were almost refined. Both Lin Haoyang and Sun Ning's divine sense reached the peak level of the 9th layer golden core. Although they refined 2 more soul crystals, they did not increase much. In Lin Haoyang's feelings, now he is refining the soul element crystal, just like filling a jar filled with sand with water, constantly increasing his own limit. This feeling reminded him of foundation building, constantly challenging the limits of his physical body. Although this feeling is painful, the reward is still not small. As long as he is such a refiner, in Golden Core realm, no one's divine sense will be his opponent. In this way, the power of soul fixation in the future will definitely exceed his imagination. Sun Ning is more distressed. Her divine sense has reached its limit. No matter how much soul crystal is refined, there will be no growth unless it breaks through to nascent soul realm. But Sun Yi, divine sense still has a lot of room for growth, but she is a nascent soul cultivator. Every time divine sense grows a little, the required soul crystal is hard to estimate. The 2 fist-sized soul crystals just let her grow. A little realm and a half. Her previous divine sense has reached the early stage on the 5th floor of nascent soul. After this refining, her divine sense has reached the peak of the middle stage on the 5th floor of nascent soul, not far from the late stage. The 3 of them consolidated a little, then set off again, searching the yellow realm for 2 hours, but little gains were gained. The 3 of them decided to continue to set off and rushed to the orange realm. According to the direction of everyone's actions, eventually everyone will gather in the red world, where an unprecedented battle will erupt. Therefore, before heading to the red world, they have to find other people. This is the safest way. The strange thing is that Lin Haoyang walked through the 4 realms, but didn't meet a person he knew. Instead he met 2 sisters, Sun Yi and Sun Ning. However, there is no answer to this question after all. 3 hours after everyone left, they finally crossed the yellow realm and came to the orange realm. It may be because the colorful bubble is a sphere, and the area of each color circle is different. The green circle is the largest, and the yellow circle is smaller. When Lin Haoyang and the others arrived at the orange realm, they were dumbfounded, not because of the orange of heaven and earth, but because of the all-colored demonic beasts in front of them. The number of these demonic beasts is extremely large, even reaching hundreds. Among them, Tier 4 demonic beasts are the main ones, but Tier 5 has 60 or 70. Fortunately, they didn't make much noise when they entered. If this alarmed this group of demonic beasts, I'm afraid the 3 of them will be here today. Although these demonic beasts are of different shapes, they are gathered together at this moment, but they are extremely quiet, as if something is attracting them. With such a large number of demonic beasts, I am afraid that the demonic beasts who have entered the colorful bubble world and are still alive are here. The 3 of Lin Haoyang quietly retreated into a cloud, covering their own figure so as not to be discovered by demonic beasts. Fortunately, divine sense is blocked in this world. Otherwise, with the power of Tier 5 demonic beasts, such a distance, I would have discovered it a long time ago. Lin Haoyang and the 3 were hiding in the clouds and staring at each other, a little unclear. So, how these demonic beasts are so neat. If all the demonic beasts dominate the orange realm together, then it is equivalent to occupying the red realm. The most abundant resources were taken away by demonic beasts. The most important thing is that in the red world, there may be a way to control the colorful bubbles. If you miss it, it will be a huge loss. On the contrary, the human race is not united. Coming all the way from the blue world, Lin Haoyang has been encountering many cultivators. What I met in the green world was a large number of foundation building cultivators, and what I met in the yellow world was a large number of golden core cultivators, and none of them seemed to have any further plans. Lin Haoyang hadn't noticed before, but now it seems that this is likely to be related to the demonic beasts blocking the way. Just as Lin Haoyang guessed, those golden core cultivators were all gathered in the yellow realm, precisely because demonic beasts occupied the orange realm. In the beginning, the human race and demonic beasts were still 50-50 in the orange realm, but with the explosion of human greed, the human race mostly stayed in other realms to search for the soul crystal. Before the demonic beasts came in, they were ordered to follow the 5 descendants of Tier 6 demonic beasts. Compared with the human race, once a stronger person appears among demonic beasts that is more difficult to fight, they will choose to surrender, so there will be fewer differences. It will not be intriguing like a human race, not fighting for interest disputes will kill you or die. Because of this, the demonic beasts in the orange realm are getting more and more, and the human race's power in the orange realm is getting smaller and smaller, and finally they have to withdraw from the orange realm. After demonic beasts occupied the orange realm, they did not rush to the final red realm, because on the way to the red realm, there was an enchantment that blocked everyone, and demonic beasts gathered in one place to break through that enchantment. Find a way to control colorful bubbles. Not long after Lin Haoyang and others hid in the clouds, they heard a sound of groping in the clouds. The 3 of them immediately became vigilant. Lin Haoyang's killing intent double swords surrounded them, and Sun Ning and Sun Yi each turned their hands into knives, preparing for a final blow. Towards the direction of the sound, the 3 of them were extremely nervous. The clouds in front of them were agitating, and there should be something coming to them. If it is demonic beasts, they will kill them as soon as possible. If the demonic beasts' army knows their whereabouts, I'm afraid they will be inevitable today. The clouds squirmed, and suddenly their heads came out from inside. Sun Ning and Sun Yi moved their hands like lightning, only to see 2 slashes, only to cut off at that head. Lin Haoyang felt familiar with this head inexplicably when he saw this head, and immediately realized that it was wrong, and shouted, "Keep someone under the knife." Hearing Lin Haoyang's call, the 2 women's knife stopped, and the fastest Sun Yi, the light of the knife had reached the neck, and only a strand of hair was dyed and bleached to the ground. Ah! The head turned over and saw Cao Ying's face pale in fright. Just after crying, Lin Haoyang gagged her mouth. If Cao Ying really made Cao Ying cry here, they might all die. Seeing Cao Ying's appearance, Lin Haoyang felt a little funny inexplicably, and said softly, "The 2 of you can disperse, this is my apprentice." Hearing the word apprentice, the second woman's face was embarrassed. If Lin Haoyang hadn't shouted in time, I'm afraid they would have made a big mistake today. But immediately the 2 realized that this woman was Lin Haoyang's apprentice. Is your apprentice taller than your cultivation base? The 2 looked weird, and Lin Haoyang didn't explain it, so he calmed Cao Ying and then realized. It turned out that when the 3 of them arrived at the orange realm, they were already known by the human army, so they sent Cao Ying to respond. In order not to be discovered by the demonic beast's army, Cao Ying could only search all the way through the clouds, which is why the 3 people felt the clouds creep. "Master, you're done, you are hiding in the clouds. I will report this matter to my madam and senior uncle Xuanlin, asking you to bully me." Cao Ying's eyes flushed red, and she said in a pissed way, "This fellow Taoist, it was me who were reckless just now, so let the fellow Taoist accompany you here." Sun Yi said in a cold voice. Sun Yi apologized. Only then did Cao Ying see Sun Yi's appearance. Her eyes widened, and she was surprised. "Huh, the 7th son of Longtu's line, it's not bad, and it's a good match for the master." A sudden burst of murderous intent made Cao Ying's whole body tremble. 64%. Chapter 384, Collusion. The murderous aura emanating from Sun Yi's body at this moment was real, and even Lin Haoyang could feel the tingling sensation from his skin. Cao Ying's face changed again. It seemed that she had said the wrong thing again this time. "Sun Yi, fellow Taoist, look at my face, give her a chance." Lin Haoyang pleaded with a helpless expression. "Huh, next time, no matter who intercedes for you, my sword. But I can't hold it," Sun Yi said, dispelling his murderous aura. Sun Ning stood by, frowning, not knowing what he was thinking. "Okay, stop talking, take us to find other people," Lin Haoyang said. "Oh," Cao Ying responded, and then led the 3 of them to start to shuttle through the clouds. After half an hour, everyone came to another orange realm. Although it is also in the orange world, it is more remote, with clouds everywhere, which is really good for hiding. Here, Lin Haoyang finally met acquaintances. Almost all the people from Jilingyi, Qingyan sect, and Chongshan Tower were here. If they are not there, I am afraid that there is a great possibility that they have fallen. I asked Cao Ying, and finally confirmed that 2 golden core cultivators in the Jiling line have not arrived yet. I am afraid that they have already suffered an accident. Lin Haoyang suddenly felt sad when he heard this. The golden core of the extremely spiritual line has a great chance of breaking through the nascent soul. Even if one person is damaged here, the loss is incalculable. When they got here, Sun Yi and Sun Ning also left and returned to the team of Longtu. Lin Haoyang waved goodbye. At this moment Cao Ying approached again and whispered, "Master, you're done, don't you want to bribe me?" Lin Haoyang rolled his eyes, pulled Cao Ying aside, and walked towards everyone. Seeing Lin Haoyang, Jiling said hello in a separate line. They hadn't arrived for so long, and they even guessed that Lin Haoyang might be in an accident. Now that Lin Haoyang returned safely, everyone was relieved. Everyone, what's the situation now? Lin Haoyang looked at Zhuo Qianji, Su Qin, and a group of extremely spiritual nascent souls. The situation is not very optimistic, and the human race is roughly divided into 3 factions now. Our group of people, a group of people centered on the dragon and 2 family, and a group of people composed of rogue cultivators and other forces. To make matters worse, our manpower is only 70% of demonic beasts. If we are outside, we can still fight. But here, we don't have the advantages of magical item and magical talisman. I'm afraid this difference in numbers will become a fatal flaw. Lin Haoyang said. Zhuo Qianji has completely regarded Lin Haoyang as a cultivator of his generation, nothing else, just the 8 nascent souls in front of him. I am afraid that Lin Haoyang will look forward to it. Lin Haoyang frowned after hearing it, and it seemed that the reality was worse than he thought. Not only are a large number of rogue cultivators left behind, the most important thing is that the main human race has also been divided into 3 factions. If this is really fought, the human race will really suffer. Then what should we do now? Just watch demonic beasts open the enchantment, occupy the red world, control the colorful bubbles, and finally wipe us out? Lin Haoyang asked rhetorically. Uncle Master, don't worry, we already have plans. We are preparing to unite with the other 2 forces to harass the demonic beast's army from the side, so that their speed at breaking the barrier will be greatly reduced. Zhou Buping said. Zhou Buping is Zhao Duanlong's eldest disciple. He is now an 8th layer master of nascent soul, with a Fengtian painting halberd, which makes him fascinated. When he broke through the jagged city, he dragged 3 tier 5 demonic beasts alone, and his combat power was truly terrifying. Lin Haoyang was not too happy when he heard this. If it was just a harassment from the side, it might not be as effective as he imagined. This is nothing more than delaying the time for demonic beasts to break the barrier. If you want to really defeat demonic beasts, I am afraid this is not enough. I don't think this is enough. In addition to uniting the 2 foreign forces, we have to persuade the other color world to be a human cultivator and let them deal with demonic beasts together. Otherwise, it will be of little effect if it treats the symptoms rather than the root cause. Lin Haoyang said. Everyone in the audience nodded their heads after listening. There are many human cultivators scattered in other realms. They also know about it, but it was too troublesome to find them. They didn't care about it before. But now it seems that without these people, I am afraid that this battle of the human race will end in failure. Afterwards, everyone joined the other 2 teams. Among them, Lin Haoyang saw some acquaintances, such as Huang Tongxuan of Wangjizang. This force is formed by the nascent soul sect of Zheng, Song, and Zhao. There are more than 10 nascent souls, and the strength is not weak. However, the strongest is the Dragon 2 family. The nascent soul cultivator alone has more than 20 people, and Golden Core is not a minority. In general, on the human cultivator side, there are more than 50 people in nascent soul and more than 400 people in Golden Core. With such strength, there is still a lot of gap between demonic beasts and demonic beasts. If you forcefully collide with demonic beasts in this way, you will suffer heavy casualties and lose out. Therefore, Zhuo Qianji explained Lin Haoyang's plan again. In the end, the other 2 forces also agreed. Each of the 3 forces sent a team of people to other color realms to gather scattered rogue cultivators. Others temporarily harassed demonic beasts, preventing them from breaking through the barrier with all their heart, and creating time for the gathering of rogue cultivators. At the same time, people spread rumors that demonic beasts is about to grasp the core of the colorful bubble. Once the colorful bubble world is blocked, the human race will no longer escape and can only be trapped in this colorful bubble world. Rogue cultivators are greedy, but they cherish their lives even more. In the most critical moment, they will still stand up and share the same hatred with everyone. They are not for righteousness, but for their own life. Soon, people who went to other color worlds set off, and Lin Haoyang and others began to harass demonic beasts. Although the number of demonic beasts is 30% higher than that of the human races, they cannot be divided into too many people if they want to guard the enchantment and break the door of the enchantment. This instead gave everyone a chance, an opportunity to contain and pull. Soon, the actions of Lin Haoyang and others were discerned by demonic beasts. There was no way. The number of people was too large to cover up their figures. In just a few moments, hundreds of demonic beasts came in double teams, hoping to wipe out the human race. You humble moths, they seem to have come to ruin me and other major things, so you should be looking for death. The demonic beasts who spoke were a Tier 5 high-grade thunder beast. It is the parent and child of the Tier 6 thunder beast from the outside world, extremely powerful, and once the thunder domain is opened, ordinary nascent soul cultivator dare not get close. At this time, a man walked out of Long Tu's line with a knife on his back. Fortunately, he didn't put his own magical item in the storage bag. He is a real bladesman who can never leave his body. As soon as he stood in front of the Tier 5 Thunder Beast, a murderous aura rose to the sky, making the Thunder Beast's complexion dignified, and without thinking, he knew that this person was not easy to deal with. Longtu's fifth family member, the pinnacle of nascent soul strength, legend has it that he has become a ground sword. Aside, Zhou Buping whispered in Lin Haoyang's ear. Hearing this, Lin Haoyang's eyes suddenly narrowed. He asked Sun Ning before, that the dragon and the world have 3 swords and dragons, and they are powerful. 64%. Chapter 385 Strange Demonic Beasts. There are 8 disciples of Long Tuzi. Sun Yi ranked 7th and Sun Ning 8th, and the 5th oldest, Lu Shengyan, is the most promising one besides the 3 transforming gods. Legend has it that the Earth Sword of the Dragon 2 family, apart from the 3 gods, only Lu Shengyan understood that the power of the Earth Sword is several times stronger than the human sword, and it is the Dragon 2 first family. Fundamental. Lu Shengyan has mastered the Earth Knife, that is, he has mastered the admission ticket to the God of Transformation. As long as the opportunity is sufficient, he will have a place in the future of the God of Transformation. Lei Shou was also very jealous of Lu Shengyan. In the previous few collisions, his opponent was Lu Shengyan. Relying on his own minefield, he originally wanted to kill Lu Shengyan, but that time, Lu Shengyan had just used the human sword, and he was already able to compete with his minefield. If he used the Earth Sword again, I am afraid he would be killed too, possible. Therefore, in that battle, the Thunder Beast advanced and retreated, and did not use its full strength, because it was afraid that Lu Shengyan would use the Earth Sword at all costs. Just as Lu Shengyan set off to stop the Thunder Beast, another demonic beast covered in flames rushed up. Seeing this, Lin Haoyang narrowed his eyes. This demonic beast is also a descendant of demonic beasts. I remember that when I was outside the colorful bubbles that day, there was a demonic beast, and the whole body was filled with fire. You just have a little manpower, and you dare to fight with us. Huo Beast said. His voice was a little hoarse, but with the flames all over his body, it was full of momentum. Lin Haoyang narrowed his eyes. If no one came to stop this fire beast demonic beasts, it would probably affect his aura very much. At this moment, Zuo Qian's body moved, and instantly appeared in Huo Beast's sight. If you don't pay attention, you don't know how Zuo Qianji passed. No one. Then I will play with you. After Zuo Qianji said, the 8 trigrams formation behind him evolved. Although his Tier 5 magical item Qingfeng sword was not in his hands, relying on the 8 trigrams formation behind him could still suppress the Sea of Flames by 1 or 2. Soon, Huo Beast handed over Zuo Qianji. Zuo Qianji's combat power surprised him. The Sea of Fire around him seemed to have no effect on Zuo Qianji. When the extreme flames reached Zuo Qian's fuselage, there was an invisible barrier obstructing them, where water and fire were spontaneous, and his flames, in a short time, there was nothing to do with Zuo Qian's machine. Soon, the man and the beast also stood in a stalemate. After successively blocking the offspring of 2 Tier 6 demonic beasts, the morale of the human race is strong, and the attack on the demonic beast's side is fierce. Because the demonic beasts have to guard the enchantment leading to the Red Realm, the demonic beasts tuned for a while are not enough to suppress the cross-human cultivator, but are suppressed by the human. Lin Haoyang and the others couldn't let it go. Lin Haoyang even summoned the killing intent double swords. A Tier 4 middle-grade demonic beasts came and was shocked to see Lin Haoyang holding a sword in his hand. Does Lin Haoyang have any special means to open the storage bag? This makes demonic beasts very cautious. Be cautious. He couldn't stand the sharpness of the killing intent sword in Lin Haoyang's hand. Lin Haoyang didn't stay behind. He was Tianfang as soon as he came up. He wanted to take this opportunity to hone his training. As soon as Tianfang came out, who was fighting for the front, the Tier 4 mid-level demonic beasts was the opponent, and they were defeated steadily. If Lin Haoyang only initially took control of Tianfang, I am afraid that with a single sword, his life would be lost to Yellow Springs. Seeing that there were more than the demonic beasts of Tier 4 middle grade, 2 Tier 4 top grade demonic beasts with shoulders and eyes suddenly poured out. These 2 demonic beasts look very strange. Not only have 2 eyes on the shoulders, 4 eyes on the face, and 2 eyes on the chest, a total of 8 eyes. In addition, this demonic beast is covered with fine scales, has no tail, and has sharp claws. With its mouth open, a tongue like a letter is thrown out, making it uncomfortable to see. Seeing these 2 demonic beasts rushing up, the demonic beasts of the previous Tier 4 mid-range had a trace of fear in their eyes, so they retreated and let them face Lin Haoyang. When the 2 weird demonic beasts saw the Tier 4 mid-level demonic beasts run away, they didn't have any other expressions. They just stared at Lin Haoyang, sticking out their tongues, eyes full of excitement. Lin Haoyang had never seen this demonic beasts. Among the 5 Tier 6 demonic beasts, Lin Haoyang didn't dare to take it carelessly. With a grab with his left hand, he grabbed another sword of killing intent. At the same time, because 2 descendants of Tier 6 demonic beasts were blocked, the demonic beasts once again mobilized 2 armies of demonic beasts to kill here. There were 4 descendants of Tier 6 demonic beasts, which put a lot of pressure on the coalition forces. Zhou Buping and a nascent soul late-stage cultivator in the line of Long Tu joined forces to block one. As for the other one, it was intercepted by 2 nascent soul late-stage cultivators from other 5th rank forces. Zhou Buping is a big disciple of Zhao Duanlong. In terms of birth, he is not inferior to the descendants of the 6th order demonic beasts. However, his Fengtian painted halberd is trapped in a storage bag. Without that halberd, his strength is reduced. It is difficult to be the opponent of the descendants of the 6th tier demonic beasts. It can only be successfully blocked by teaming up with people. Today, the demonic beasts that have been killed are close to 80%, which once again suppresses the human race. It has been agreed before this operation that this battle will only be carried out for half an hour, and after half an hour, it will be withdrawn for whatever reason. Therefore, within this half an hour, Lin Haoyang will explode with all his strength, get the results as much as possible, and fight the illusion pressure for the decisive battle. Lin Haoyang urged the Buddha's profound art, and wrapped the killing intent double swords with its special black spirit power. The moment after spirit power was wrapped, the killing intent of the killing intent double swords increased greatly, and the biting murderous aura directly shattered the clouds under his feet. Seeing this, the 2 weird demonic beasts showed shock in their eyes. They didn't expect that Lin Haoyang's strength could be ascension. After being surprised, it was crazy. In the eyes of demonic beasts, the stronger the cultivation base, the more delicious it was. Lin Haoyang's strength represented an excellent delicacy. Seeing the madness in the eyes of the 2 demonic beasts, Lin Haoyang's fighting spirit was also ignited, and the violent foot and collapse broke out at the same time, and suddenly turned into an afterimage to attack the 2 demonic beasts. Not to be outdone, the 2 weird demonic beasts raised their front paws, turned into 2 sharp blades, and collided with the killing intent sword. Because the sword of killing intent is the result of the aggregation of killing intent, even if it is placed in the tier 4 magical item, its sharpness is second to none. Now coupled with the Tianfang, its sharpness has surpassed the tier 4 top grade. Everywhere sword ray has passed, the 2 weird demonic beasts are also difficult to support. Only a pair of claws can barely resist the killing intent swords. Lin Haoyang relied on a pair of killing intent double swords to suppress 2 tier 4 top grade demonic beasts to death. At first, Lin Haoyang was still very happy. He was still able to hone the Tianfang in the battle against the 2 demonic beasts. But later, he felt like he had encountered bottleneck, and he encountered obstacles in further deduction of Tianfang. Lin Haoyang guessed that, firstly, the human sword he saw was not perfect enough. If he could see the legendary Earth Sword and Sky Sword, he believed that own Tianfang would definitely be able to rise to the next level. Also, Lin Haoyang didn't use Junyu to use Tianfang, so no matter how he tried, he would feel worse. Lin Haoyang repelled the 2 weird demonic beasts again, but this time, the change of the 2 demonic beasts surprised Lin Haoyang. Directly 2 demonic beasts jumped into the air, then the flesh and blood squirmed and turned into 165%. Chapter 386. Lin Haoyang was shocked when he saw this scene. He was the first to see that demonic beasts could fit together. With eyes condensed, Lin Haoyang shot quickly, trying to break the combination of the two demonic beasts, but the two merged front paws just shot Lin Haoyang into the air with just one blow, if it wasn't for the killing intent sword to block it. Lin Haoyang is likely to be broken. Lin Haoyang furrowed his brows, and he was very alert. The power of this demonic beast's combination has surpassed the golden core and reached the half-step 5th level. He couldn't reach the level of tier 5 because his inner alchemy was not strong enough. He hadn't survived the thunder tribulation, and his physical body was a little worse, but compared to before, his combat power was absolutely earth-shaking ascension. If it is outside, Lin Haoyang will rely on a single method. Lin Haoyang still suppresses me 1 or 2, but in this minor world, he suffers too much. However, now that the battle is so muddy, no one can spare his hands to help him. Even if he wants to help him, it can only be nascent soul. The ordinary golden core is in front of him, and there is no chance. Lin Haoyang did not dare to relax at all. After being knocked into the air, he let go of a sword of killing intent, and Lin Haoyang used his mind to control his attack. When the quick sword decisive was launched, the killing intent sword suddenly turned into an afterimage, and went straight to the two demonic beasts to cut off the combined part. Only in an instant, the killing intent sword came to the back of the weird demonic beasts. At this time, the two demonic beasts have completed half of the fit, and the back half of the body is like mucus, slowly squirming, and then they can stick together. The sword of killing intent was cut down with a single sword, and it was cut at the link of the body. Because the speed of the sword of killing intent was so fast, demonic beasts had no time to react and was already cut. In an instant, the sword of killing intent cut into the slime, but only an inch in, it was like an ox, and it was difficult to advance half a step. And the slime melted by the weird demonic beast's body stretched in the opposite direction, as if to wrap the sword of killing intent. Lin Haoyang was terrified. How can I play this? There is no such a sneak attack, it's too abnormal. Seeing that the mucus was about to wrap up the killing intent, Lin Haoyang thought, the sword of killing intent collapsed into a white mist, and he broke free from the mud. Lin Haoyang shook hands again, and the white mist returned instantly, reuniting in Lin Haoyang's hands. Roar! Weird demonic beast saw the killing intent sword reappearing in Lin Haoyang's hand, and suddenly became angry, and the speed of fusion accelerated. In a few breaths, it had already passed the waist, and it was only a little bit before it could be fully condensed. At this moment, a sword ray hit a weird demonic beasts directly below the waist. Although the weird demonic beasts are powerful, but under this sword ray, a weird demonic beasts was immediately intercepted. The blade light was too harsh, and Lin Haoyang's Tianfang was even worse than that. The cut-off part fell on the ground and wanted to struggle to move towards the main body, but where would Lin Haoyang give him a chance? The sword of killing intent flew out instantly and pierced it directly. The black spirit power covered on the sword of killing intent suddenly turned into black, entangled the latter half of the corpse. Lin Haoyang thought, the sword of killing intent took the second half of the demonic beasts into the sky, not giving them a chance to merge into one. Lin Haoyang couldn't be more familiar with that knife light. Just now Sun Yi saw Lin Haoyang in a dangerous situation, so he offered to help, which really helped Lin Haoyang. Roar! Half of the body was gone, and the integration of demonic beasts was completely interrupted. I don't know if part of it was missing. This demonic beast seemed to have a conflict of consciousness. I saw half of his face screaming in pain, half of his face staring at Lin Haoyang sadly, even his head began to transform into mucus, and there was a tendency to separate. Even if it is a top-grade demonic beasts of tier 4, it is generally difficult to survive if it is cut into 2 sections. The one that was cut off at this moment is still alive because it is combined with the other one and the 2 beasts share one body. Survived. Lin Haoyang was able to miss such a great opportunity. The killing intent swords were held in his hands, and they continued to attack the demon. This demonic beasts had to maintain a fit while resisting Lin Haoyang's attack. It was equally difficult. One person and one beast were in a deadlock. Lin Haoyang couldn't break the bizarre demonic beast's claws after being combined. The bizarre demonic beasts itself had a problem, and Lin Haoyang couldn't win Lin Haoyang. One person and one animal fell into a tremor, and soon a quarter of an hour passed, and both sides were injured, but both seemed unconscious, still fighting desperately. Now that the battle has progressed, there have been a lot of casualties on both sides. It is less than a quarter of an hour after half an hour from the previous agreement. Lin Haoyang feels helpless. It seems that he cannot take down the demonic beasts today. At this moment, the battlefield between Lu Shengyan and Lei Beast changed. Sword. Just listening to Lu Shengyan's burst of shouts, a sword light that resembles a long rainbow suddenly appeared from his hand. The sharp light of the sword, cutting the mountains and breaking the rocks, not only the harshness, but also the thickness of the earth, and a single blow, it will cut the thunder of the thunder beast open. The thunder territory was broken, and the thunder beast was seriously injured. After the blade light broke through the thunder territory, the momentum remained unabated, and it slashed straight towards the thunder beast. At the moment of life and death, thunder beast spit out its own inner alchemy to meet this terrifying knife. In addition to thunder territory, Lay Beast's inner alchemy is his strongest method. His inner alchemy is also different from other demonic beasts. The inner alchemy is surrounded by lightning, which is more like a Lay Dan. Bump. The horrible collision spread, and the surrounding cultivator and demonic beasts were bounced away. Fortunately, there was a lot of movement in the one-man one-beast fight, and there were not too many demonic beasts around. But the fighting between the two attracted too many eyes. The collision on such a scale is probably the first time they have entered the world of colorful bubbles. I saw the knife light cut on the inner alchemy the size of 2 human heads, and the arc ran wildly, but after hitting the knife light, it was directly cut off. Severing thunder. What a terrifying method is needed to do it. I saw a small thunder beast swimming on the inner alchemy, also Chang resisting the horrible blade light. This little Lay beast was the imprint of the soul on the Lay beast's inner alchemy. He didn't expect that at this critical juncture of life and death, the Lay beast actually summoned him. Seeing this, a hint of sarcasm rose from the corner of Lu Shengyan's mouth, saying, "If the earth knife is so resistant, I won't have to cultivate for so many years." Lu Shengyan yelled for a while, and the power of the knife light increased by 3 points. The imprint of the soul was destroyed, and the complexion of Thunder Beast's body changed wildly, and a mouthful of blood spurted out. Seeing the light of the knife continued to slash, he didn't even need the inner pill, burned his blood, and ran back. When Lu Shengping saw this, a smile appeared at the corner of his mouth, and the light of the knife was closed immediately, and the inner alchemy was intact. He opened his hand and sucked, and the inner alchemy fell into Lu Shengyan's hands. Now the Thunder Beast's minefield has been broken, the inner alchemy has been seized, and the spirit backlash is no longer a threat. Seeing that the inner alchemy had been taken by Lu Shengyan, Lei Yu felt resentful in his heart, but he did not dare to do anything, and returned to the enchantment in a desperate manner. Lu Shengyan took the shot and began to help everyone relieve the pressure. After Lin Haoyang saw Lu Shengping's ground sword, he felt blessed in his heart, and his understanding of Tian Feng went to a higher level. With a slap with both hands, the 2 killing intent swords were combined into one, turning into a giant sword that was 2 meters long. Although it does not have the weight of an épée, its sharpness is not comparable to that of an épée. Tianfeng, Lin Haoyang yelled, and a majestic sword chi cut straight to the weird demonic beasts. 65%. Chapter 387. Lin Haoyang's sword had the taste of an earth sword, and it was thick, and it made people feel like a mountain rain is coming just by looking at it. Moreover, Lin Haoyang used the épée to perform this trick, and the effect was even better. Not to mention that the épée is displayed like this. Sword ray, other people's épée, they are all melee magical items, there is no such thing as sword ray. Only Lin Haoyang's violent blood condensed the épée sword ray. On the basis of the violent blood, Lin Haoyang developed this move Tianfeng, which is a real experience for everyone. The 2 sisters Sun Yi and Sun Ning, who were most surprised at this moment, had thought that Lin Haoyang's move had some flaws, and it would take years to perfect it. What they didn't expect was that Lin Haoyang's trick was performed with an épée. Can the stuff of épée have sword ray? Nothing is more joyful than Cao Ying. Since worshipping Lin Haoyang, she has entered the realm with great speed. Except for the slow cultivation of Xuanzhen's secret art, everything else has made great progress. Lin Haoyang's creation of violent blood, although very difficult, but her Tianlongan aptitude combined with the disciples of the extremely spiritual line, also quickly cultivated it. She also knew before that there was only one of the 9 reactive styles in her own family. Now that Lin Haoyang insight is out of the sky, then her strength can go even further. The most important thing is that this Tianfeng style is more handsome than violent blood. Cao Ying sighed in her heart. It seems that in the future, she must urge Lin Haoyang to develop cultivation technique, otherwise she will not have cultivation technique insight until she becomes a Tianfeng. On Lin Haoyang's side, he slashed it down. The weird monster couldn't hide, and was slashed in the middle. At this moment, the demonic beasts had a tendency to split. Lin Haoyang didn't give them a chance, but just cut demonic beasts from top to bottom and cut them in half. Tian Feng passed Lin Haoyang's second insight, and his power was more than several times stronger. In addition, Lin Haoyang used the épée to cast this time, fully displaying it. Although demonic beasts blocked one or two with their sharp claws, they did not block the blade, and finally died under the sword. The body of demonic beasts fell to the ground, and it was difficult to maintain the unity. Although they were alive and dead, the bodies of the two demonic beasts were separated. The two demonic beasts are directly listed as 4 halves, and 2 of them are only above the waist. Obviously, that half was cut by Su Yi before. Looking at the corpse of demonic beasts, Lin Haoyang frowned. These 2 weird demonic beasts were not only dark in appearance, but also black in flesh and blood, which made people disgusting. Lin Haoyang controlled the sword of killing intent and searched on the corpse of demonic beasts for a while, but he didn't find the inner alchemy, which made Lin Haoyang strange. Tier 4 demonic beasts don't have inner alchemy. He has only encountered this kind of thing once, and that is the kind of 100-eyed beast on the battlefield of Shuanglong Mountain. Because of the upgrade, the inner alchemy of the 100 eyes was transferred to the eyes, turning its eyes into a natural magical item. After Lin Haoyang's refinement, Deep Blue Eye became Lin Haoyang's powerful magical item. Could it be that these 2 demonic beasts were also upgraded demonic beasts, and then Lin Haoyang searched it again, but this time it was not limited to the belly of demonic beasts, but cast his eyes on the whole body. Seeing Lin Haoyang dismembering the 2 demonic beasts around him felt inexplicably scared. All demonic beasts are thinking in their hearts, even if you lose the battle, you can take the materials from the inner alchemy and demonic beasts at most, so you don't have to be so cruel. Every inch of flesh and bones must be chopped up and explored again, which is too cruel. In the end, Lin Haoyang even opened the skulls of the 2 weird demonic beasts and began to use the sword of killing intent to fumble in the minds of the 2 weird demonic beasts. Seeing such a brutal scene of Lin Haoyang, demonic beasts finally couldn't resist the pressure and ran for their lives, trying to get away from Lin Haoyang, the devil. When prying open the heads of the 2 weird demonic beasts, 2 round objects appeared in Lin Haoyang's eyes. These objects were the inner alchemy of the 2 demonic beasts. Lin Haoyang smiled on his face, opened his hand and inhaled, and the 2 inner pills fell into his hands. These 2 inner pills were different from the inner pills he had encountered in the past. The 2 inner pills were white in their entirety and had no flaws. However, when Lin Haoyang saw these 2 inner alchemy, his eyes flashed, and his mind was swaying. After a lot of effort, Lin Haoyang stabilized his mind and whispered. These 2 inner alchemy have their own illusion effect. It seems that these 2 demonic beasts must be good at illusion. Lin Haoyang sighed in his heart. Xin Hao, minor world restricts the soul, otherwise, with the combined strength of 2 demonic beasts, Lin Haoyang might really be planted here today. 2 white inner alchemy are also good things. Go back and refine them. Maybe you can refine 2 good phantom magical items. Illusion magical items are as rare as divine sense magical items. They are treasures of magical items. These 2 demonic beasts' inner pills are enough for Lin Haoyang to refine 2 pieces. It's a pity that Lin Haoyang didn't dare to use these 2 demonic beasts to refine the foundation building pill. These 2 demonic beasts were too weird, and he was afraid that there would be problems with the foundation building pill that would be refined by then. Spirit stones are lost if they are lost. What he fears is that there will be problems with the sect children who take these foundation building pills. After receiving the inner alchemy, Lin Haoyang shot a pill fire, preparing to burn the upgraded demonic beast's corpse, but after burning for a while, the 2 demonic beasts' corpses were just burnt and not burned to ashes. There was even a smell of meat floating away. Out. Lin Haoyang's face turned dark and the real fire dissipated. Now the war is in a hurry, and he doesn't have much time to burn the corpse. But as soon as he turned around, Lin Haoyang was taken aback. The demonic beasts around him were gone, none of them, and when his eyes fell, all tier 4 demonic beasts trembled and began to flee frantically. Because most of the demonic beasts on Lin Haoyang's side had to leave, the demonic beasts' battle began to collapse. The fire beast saw that the situation was not good, and after looking in the direction of Lin Haoyang, he shouted, "Withdraw." Afterwards, the demonic beasts' army retreated like a tide. Some people are fighting vigorously, and there is still a stick of incense about the agreed evacuation time. They originally wanted to break out and try to expand the battle. But the fire beast interrupted their plan when they gave an order. Others are fortunate. In this world, demonic beasts have the upper hand. Some people rely too much on magical items, but are beaten by demonic beasts. Seeing that they couldn't hold it anymore, demonic beasts withdrew, and they were still confused. Only the people around Lin Haoyang were still numb. The battle between Lin Haoyang and the weird demonic beasts has even reached the level of Tier 5. Whether it is the combination of the two demonic beasts or Lin Haoyang's last sword, they are terrified. In fact, there is still a gap between Lin Haoyang's biting sword chi and Su Yi's swordsmanship. It is not that Lin Haoyang's Tianfang power is not enough, but Lin Haoyang's strength is not enough. If Lin Haoyang's current strength reaches the nascent soul realm, then Tianfang might be more powerful than the human sword. It's because Lin Haoyang's strength is only golden core realm, which surprised everyone. You can use the strength of nascent soul as a golden core. How can others end this? None of the Tier 4 demonic beasts were sure to resist Lin Haoyang's sword, so after Lin Haoyang killed the weird demonic beasts, they moved away from Lin Haoyang. But what made the demonic beasts truly fearful and numb was the scene of Lin Haoyang searching for the inner alchemy and burning the corpse of demonic beasts. Searching for every inch of flesh and blood, removing the bones, breaking the brain, and then roasting it with fire, this is obviously the rhythm to eat. 65%. Chapter 388. This is still a big battle. You just want to roast the enemy to eat. The meat of the same race is still overflowing, how do you let them fight? In the eyes of demonic beasts, Lin Haoyang is completely a devil. Everyone looked numb, and only Cao Ying rushed over and shouted. Master, what did you call the trick just now? Teach me, teach me. Cao Ying is already a master of the 8th level of the Golden Core, and she has the foundation of Ji Lingxi and Zan Zhenju. His combat power is extremely amazing. In less than half an hour, she has already killed a Tier 4 demonic beasts. While fighting with the second demonic beasts withdrew, but she didn't feel a pity at all, and immediately ran over to haunt Lin Haoyang and asked Lin Haoyang to teach her Tianfang. Lin Haoyang looked helpless and said, if you go out and talk about it, tell me first, what's the matter with them? Lin Haoyang pointed to the people and asked, some of the weaker golden cores. When Lin Haoyang saw it, his whole body trembled subconsciously. Lin Haoyang looked at them as if a wolf was staring at them. Cao Ying just smiled at the corner of her mouth, and once again the matter of Lin Haoyang's great display of power just now, Lin Haoyang's face turned dark. This is slander, naked slander. No matter how Lin Haoyang explained this matter, it was useless. Lin Haoyang had already established a cruel image in everyone's hearts. Although demonic beasts was defeated and no one was pursuing them, the demonic beasts just now was not its full strength. It was possible to win, and there were many coincidental factors in it. The battle lasted less than half an hour, and not many demonic beasts were killed. Only 19 Tier 4 demonic beasts were killed, and 2 Tier 5 demonic beasts were seriously injured, including the Tier 5 top-grade Thunder Beast. The Golden Core on the human side lost 9 people and 3 nascent soul were seriously injured. This battle can only be regarded as a small victory and has little effect on the situation. However, everyone's purpose of delaying has also been achieved. After this short contact battle, everyone has successfully delayed demonic beasts' break through the barrier. If everyone continues to harass like this, it can delay about 3 days. 3 days later, there will be a decisive battle. The key to victory lies in how many rogue cultivators can gather. The battle in the colorful bubble is on the verge, and the outside world is not stable. Zhao Duanlong and others have just received news that there is a great treasure born in the wild, and there is news of a fairy tomb in it. Guided by this news, a large number of demonic beasts are rushing to the dark forest. Even the black dragon Biwan who besieged the jagged city has withdrawn to own lair. As soon as his battle situation is favorable, he must have an attempt to the fairy tomb. Secondly, if the fairy tomb is to appear on his site, he will surely become a must-see for everyone, so he must withdraw his army. Now that the black dragon Biwan has withdrawn, it is impossible for Garuda to besiege the iron-blooded city alone, so he also withdrew the army. The 2 demon emperors withdrew, and the crisis in the Iron Blood City was finally resolved and everything returned to normal. If it were in the past, after experiencing this war, there will be a period of decline. After all, if you are trapped in the city, you will either survive and defeat the demonic beast's army, or to destroy it together with the iron-blooded city. Such a life and death journey, all normal people want to leave this place of right and wrong. But this time, the popularity of Jagged City increased instead of falling, and a large number of cultivators poured into the city, making Jagged City overcrowded. Not only the Jagged City, but also along the wild dark forest, there are constantly cultivators coming from inland. What is even more exaggerated is that the other 3 battlefields of the human race, although there is no complete truce, they are only in small-scale contact. At this time, if a full-scale war is launched, it is to help others push the human race. No one wants to do such a thankless thing, so their eyes are all cast on this fairy tomb. No way, the attractiveness of the fairy tomb is really too great. If they can get a little bit of the immortal family's legacy, they will have a chance to take that step. Therefore, whether it is a human race or a seventh-order demonic beasts, they don't want to miss it. Chance. Even so, other cultivators are eager and crazy about it. As long as they get a little benefit from the fairy in the fairy tomb, it may be enough for them to use it endlessly. The crowds outside were all rushing to the wilderness, only the people in the colorful bubble were still fighting the demonic beasts. In the past 3 days, the crowd fought more than a dozen battles with demonic beasts, and both sides had casualties. Even the Jiling line and the Longtu line suffered casualties. 2 golden cores died in the Battle of Jiling, and a nascent soul 3 golden core was killed in the Battle of Dragon 2. It is not that the Dragon 2 is weaker than the Jiling, but in this world, the Dragon 2 is the same. Without a knife in his hand, his strength will indeed be greatly lost. Even the Dragon 2 and Jiling veins have been damaged, and the losses of other forces are even greater. Unfortunately, Zhou Zunyuan was cut off by demonic beasts during the battle. Had it not been for Zuo Qianji's timely rescue, I am afraid he would not have broken his arm. The physical mutilation and severely injured body completely ruined Zhou Zunyuan's future path, and made Lin Haoyang, an old friend, also feel inexplicably sorry. The other losses are not small. Even Lin Haoyang has been in crisis many times. Because of his excellent performance in the first battle, Lin Haoyang directly entered the eyes of Tier 5 demonic beasts, and was taken care of by Tier 5 demonic beasts many times in the subsequent battles. If Lin Haoyang had a good fortune orb to heal his injuries, I'm afraid he would not be able to survive now. In one of them, a Tier 5 demonic beasts, a low-grade Tier 5 demonic beasts, came straight to him, and did not give Lin Haoyang a chance to react. It was just a mess. Lin Haoyang struggled to support him, relying on his own rough skin and thick flesh. Support to nascent soul cultivator. At that time, Lin Haoyang suffered the most serious injury. Nearly 30% of the bones in his body were broken, and there were countless wounds all over his body. It was definitely a serious wound among the serious wounds. The Tier 5 demonic beasts was finally beheaded to death by everyone, but it was very happy before it died and finally abolished the devil Lin Haoyang. After receiving such a serious injury, everyone was worried, and left Lin Haoyang alone in the back, but when everyone returned again, Lin Haoyang's injuries had been fully recovered, all the broken bones in his body were all connected, and the external injuries were also all healed. Except for the Qian blood, and his face was a little pale, it looked the same as usual. Everyone was shocked at Lin Haoyang's resilience. Even Zuo Qianji and others who were familiar with Lin Haoyang did not expect Lin Haoyang to master this ability. Only the Jiling line was a little calmer, but they were equally surprised that Lin Haoyang had cultivated the good fortune cultivation technique so quickly. Zhao Duanlong and Ouyangji cultivation good fortune cultivation technique did not know them, but they knew Duan Hong's cultivation good fortune cultivation technique. Otherwise, why Duan Hong had to guard the teleportation formation, all to pay off his debts. Lin Haoyang was also very fortunate that before coming this time, the 2 seniors forced him to cultivate good fortune cultivation technique, otherwise this time, he is likely to explain here. For all injuries, Lin Haoyang spent 3 good fortune orbs before he recovered. Before coming here, Lin Haoyang had condensed a total of 7 good fortune orbs. In this colorful bubble, there were 5.5 of them, which was equivalent to saving Lin Haoyang 3 lives. After recovering from his injury, Lin Haoyang went to the battlefield again. This time, all demonic beasts panicked. Lin Haoyang was like an unkillable devil. Where Lin Haoyang is, the minds of the demonic beasts' army will collapse, and they dare not fight at all, because Lin Haoyang alone affected the entire battle. 65%. Chapter 389. Until the 3rd day, the human race actually suppressed the demonic beast's army with a disadvantage. Before this, everyone did not dare to think about it. Even now, everyone thought it was a little weird. Lin Haoyang's role in this may even surpass that of Lu Shengyan, Zuo Qianji, and Zhou Buping's top nascent soul. In the past, demonic beasts have been known for their fierceness, cannibalism, and do no evil. Even in the face of the same rank cultivator, demonic beasts have the upper hand. All of this is reversed here in Lin Haoyang. Now it is the turn of demonic beasts to be scared. Lin Haoyang has said that all Tier 4 demonic beasts must be afraid. Lin Haoyang's sword cannot be picked up by a Tier 4 demonic beasts. Down. Under this kind of deterrence, there were no fewer than 7 Tier 4 demonic beasts that died in the hands of Lin Haoyang. Such a record even surpassed some nascent soul cultivators. An unprecedented victory forced demonic beasts to give up attacking the barriers and instead encircle everyone. All demonic beasts did it. Because of the difference in numbers, everyone had to fight and withdraw. Slowly, everyone was forced out of the orange world. At this moment, the people who had been sent to contact rogue cultivators finally came back one after another. Behind them is a huge number of cultivators. Among these rogue cultivators, most are golden core and foundation building, with the number reaching as many as 500. Among them, foundation building accounts for 300, golden core 200, and there are more than 20 nascent soul shadows. Rogue cultivators are greedy for money, but they are more afraid of death. After everyone issued the restrictions that control colorful bubbles in the red world, all rogue cultivators rushed over here. The arrival of rogue cultivators tilted the balance of war again, and the number of human races surpassed demonic beasts. Because of the large number of foundation building cultivators, the number of human races directly exceeded 1,000. Although the foundation building looks weak, 20 foundation buildings together can siege a Tier 4 inferior demonic beasts, and 15 foundation building cultivators together can control Tier 15 demonic beasts. The foundation building that entered the colorful bubble world originally had 700 or 800 people, but these days, only these are left. There may be some hidden in some hidden place, but most of them are here. The damage to the foundation building was serious, which was also expected. After all, there are too many high-rank human races and demonic beasts who have entered the colorful bubble. With their strength, it is too difficult to survive here. This is also the reason why Lin Haoyang did not allow Lin Qianlong and others to bring people in. The risk was too great. The loss rate has almost reached 60%. Not only Xuanzhenzong can't afford this number, but all sects can't afford it. So in the beginning, most sects only let some people who are strong or close to their lives to fight. 300 foundation buildings can control 20 Tier 4 demonic beasts. In the final decisive battle of China, the more strength, the more chance of victory. What's more, nowadays there is more than one serving, but more than 500 servings. On the fourth day, all races gathered together, and everyone gathered in the yellow world, preparing for the final counterattack against demonic beasts. The number of human races has greatly increased, and it is natural that they cannot escape the eyes and ears of demonic beasts. Some demonic beasts are naturally good at hiding, and scout work is more suitable than human races. All, after learning that the human race had a large number of reinforcements, demonic beasts immediately contracted and withdrew all of them to the enchantment of the red world. While they began to attack the enchantment frantically, they were preparing to fight against the human race. Everyone, after calculation, the control center that controls this colorful bubble is likely to be in the red world. But the red and orange worlds are blocked by a barrier. Now the demonic beast's army is fully attacking the barrier. If demonic beasts really breaks the barrier, I am afraid that the control center of colorful bubbles will be taken by demonic beasts. By then, with the power of colorful bubbles, I am afraid we can only be slaughtered by demonic beasts. Lu Shengping said. Regarding cultivation base and status, the most convincing person here is Lu Shengping. After all, he has severely injured Thunder Beast. Unlike Lin Haoyang, he used his strength to kill demonic beasts to the point of fear, while Lin Haoyang relied more on his brutal, fame, and unkillable physique to make demonic beasts afraid to face him. Lu Shengyan took the current situation one by one, indicating that everyone had no retreat, either desperately fighting, or waiting for demonic beasts to take control of the control center of colorful bubbles and kill them all in one fell swoop. They did not question the power of colorful bubbles, except for the vast area within, its power should not be underestimated. When Lei Shou wanted to play colorful bubbles, he was injured by colorful bubbles. Everyone saw the matter. After Lu Shengyan's encouragement, most of the rogue cultivators who just came here are also very high-spirited. After all, the results achieved by everyone in the past 3 days are not small, although they have been driven out of the orange world. With 30% fewer people in exchange for almost the same or even lower casualties, this is a victory, not to mention, now that they have joined, it is easier to win demonic beasts. Everyone, let me enter the orange world today, break the barrier, and palm the colorful. Lu Shengyan shouted. Enter the orange world, break the barrier, palm colorful. After Lu Shengyan's lobbying scare, everyone once again killed the orange realm. Looking at the angry crowd, Lin Haoyang had a judgment about Lu Shengyan in his heart. This person is not only saber technique superb, but also in control of people's hearts. I am afraid that even if it enters the red world this time, the possibility of Jiling's line wanting to control the colorful bubbles is very small. Everything is because of the existence of Lu Shengyan, but it is a pity that Duan Hong stayed in Baiyu Mountain. Soon, Lu Shengyan led the human race cultivator across the border zone of the Orange and Yellow Realm, towards the enchantment of the Red Realm. The entire Orange world, because of the long war, the clouds in it were almost wiped out, only a few at the extreme edges. So as soon as Lin Haoyang and others entered the Orange world, they were discovered by the demonic beasts. Demonic beasts looked at the mighty Terran cultivator and couldn't help but frown. Now they have no advantage. If they fight against Terran, they will suffer a big loss. Lei Shou looked at Lu Shengyan headed by him and scolded. This damned enchantment, how long will it take to open it? At this time, demonic beasts, a fifth-order ape, stepped forward and said. According to the original plan, this barrier should be broken as soon as possible. Due to the harassment of the Terran cultivator, the process has been delayed. But at most 1 hour, we can completely break this barrier. Quote. Lei Shou's eyes narrowed, and an hour said that it was not long, and that it was short, but in order to win the colorful bubbles, they had to stop the allied forces of human race. Okay, just give you an hour. The 5 of us will personally intercept the human cultivator. You must break through this defensive barrier within an hour, or you will see you with your head up when you wait. Lei Long said. The other 4 sixth rankers are equally dignified. These days they are too awkward to fight. They obviously have a great advantage, but they have been constrained by this enchantment. If it were not for this enchantment, they would have defeated the human race. Although the human race was driven out of the Orange Realm last time, it did not achieve too many results. This time the human race will be anxious to the rogue cultivators scattered everywhere. It seems that the control center that controls this magical item must be in the Red Realm. Both sides are bound to win the Red Realm. Soon, the battle between the two sides was triggered and the battle was fierce. 65%. Chapter 390. Breaking the Enchantment. This battle was extremely fierce, and both sides devoted all their combat power. The high-ranked demonic beasts that appeared in the field were chasing after the battle outside the Iron and Blood City that day. If you add the 5 avatars and 5 tier 6 demonic beasts besides colorful bubbles, there is not much difference in combat power except that there is no huge group of low-level demonic beasts. In the first battle that day, demonic beasts suffered heavy casualties. Today, when it reappears, Lin Haoyang has no fear at all. Because the number of people gradually leveled off, the top powerhouses in Golden Core like Lin Haoyang were also released, and they started to shoot around to help others behead demonic beasts. If other Golden Core 9-layer cultivators did this, it might have attracted the attention of Tier 5 demonic beasts, but for Lin Haoyang, demonic beasts has nothing to do with him. In this shot, Lin Haoyang did not directly join the battle from the beginning and was not entangled by demonic beasts. After the two sides fought together, Lin Haoyang shot. The violent foot and the technique of escaping from the flames and fire made Lin Haoyang's speed reach a new height, and this time Lin Haoyang did not pursue a one-shot kill, but instead pursued the suppression in his heart, giving his comrades more opportunities. This kind of large-scale combat, even Lin Haoyang, can't always use Tianfeng, ordinary tier 4 demonic beasts. He controls the killing intent double sword, from an incredible angle, gives the demonic beasts a fatal blow, or it was seriously injured. Then he left quickly to support another place. For a time, Lin Haoyang's ghostly figure, coupled with the killing intent double swords that were so fast that he was invisible to the naked eye, Lin Haoyang became the nightmare of demonic beasts again. This time, Lin Haoyang changed another horrible mode. You don't know when Lin Haoyang will appear behind you. This way is even more terrifying. For a time, the battlefield of Tier 4 demonic beasts became chaotic again. Once Lin Haoyang appeared in the area, Tier 4 demonic beasts would become very nervous, for fear of being taken away by the sword of killing intent. Because of the excessive defense of Lin Haoyang, the human cultivator who fought with them took the opportunity to attack, and the results were extraordinary for a while. In the past, Tier 5 demonic beasts had already come to stop it. I don't know if it was planned. All nascent souls who were fighting against Tier 5 demonic beasts would entangle their opponents, not giving them a chance to get out. Because the Thunder Beast was seriously injured by Lu Shengyan, he was suppressed by another Dragon 2 line at this moment. For the long 2 line of Heaven, Earth and Human 3 swords, he had already had a shadow in his heart, even if it was not made by Lu Shengyan himself, he's still terrified. Huo Beast was also very helpless. He was entangled in his old opponent Zuo Qianji, unable to drag him for a while. Lu Shengyan entangled a descendant of Tier 6 demonic beasts by himself, and beat the opponent fiercely. The other two demonic beasts were stopped by several other top nascent souls, and they were not given a chance at all. As for the Tier 4 descendants of Tier 6 demonic beasts, not many came in, but they were not Lin Haoyang's opponents. Before the decisive battle began, Lin Haoyang encountered a Tier 4 top-grade fire beast. The fire beast was extremely powerful. In Lin Haoyang's perception, it was only slightly worse than the demonic beasts that could fit together. Fire beasts are very arrogant and conceited. Demonic beasts that can fit together know that even if they are descendants of Tier 6 demonic beasts, they dare not easily provoke them. Although Lin Haoyang beheaded him, Tier 4 fire beast always thought that Lin Haoyang was lucky, and with Sun Yi's sword, Lin Haoyang could behead him. But after Zhen and Lin Haoyang faced off, Tier 4 fire beast understood Lin Haoyang's horror, and Tian Feng opened his sea of fire directly with a sword, as well as his inner alchemy. It is not as lucky as the Tier 6 thunder beast. It was split into the thunder territory, and the inner pill was taken away. The Tier 4 fire beast just wanted to escape, and the killing intent double swords came to it first, and cut off his head with a single sword. After this battle alone, among Tier 4 demonic beasts, no one was Lin Haoyang's opponent, and no demonic beasts dared to face Lin Haoyang alone. With Lin Haoyang restrained everywhere, the battle turned to the human race. Demonic beasts was forced to shrink the battlefield and use the inner alchemy to force the human race back. Soon, more than half an hour passed, the battle also entered a white-hot stage, and the human race had the upper hand, but when demonic beasts narrowed the battle circle and began to use inner alchemy to protect themselves, Lin Haoyang and others also began to encounter problems. Without magical item, it is impossible to fight the inner alchemy barrier of demonic beasts. Even the strongest Lu Shengyan can resist at most one Tier 5 high-grade inner alchemy. If 2 or 3 together, I'm afraid he can't bear it. Under such circumstances, only by filling in human lives can one break a path, but who wants to use his own life to pave the way for others? Lin Haoyang's face was solemn, and now this situation has almost fallen into a dead end, nothing else, because their personnel are too mixed, and no one can trust each other. Even if it was Lin Haoyang, he could not die for this group of irrelevant people, let alone those rogue cultivators and their sect cultivator. The two sides remained in a stalemate like this, and soon an hour came and a crisp sound rang. Crack! The enchantment in front of him shattered, and the enchantment was broken, and the children of the 5th and 6th order demonic beasts immediately vacated and headed for the Red World. The other demonic beasts entangled everyone desperately, as long as they entangled another one to buy the 5 major demonic beasts a little time to control the colorful bubbles, and then they will be greeted by an unprecedented decisive battle. At this moment, no one kept it anymore, and they all began to rush towards the Red World. Wherever there are the most abundant resources, there is also a chance for them to survive. Now, each of them has used housekeeping methods, and the demonic beasts side has no 5 major demonic beasts to line up, and they are soon pushed closer by the human race. The distance is too close, the inner alchemy loses its effect, and the two sides begin to fight each other in close combat. At this moment, Lin Haoyang's sea of consciousness shook, and the originally sealed divine sense suddenly rushed out of the sea of consciousness. A soul-fixing technique suddenly hit the Tier 4 middle-grade demonic beasts in front of him. The terrifying power of divine sense broke out. This was a rebound after the sea of consciousness was suppressed for a long time. A wave of divine sense that reached the peak of the golden core fell into the sea of consciousness of this demonic beasts. Instantly plunged it into a state of perplexity, and after many years of silence, soul concentration reappeared its power. Feeling the power of the majestic divine sense at the center of the eyebrows, Lin Haoyang showed ecstasy and shouted. The power of divine sense is unlocked, kill me. Lin Haoyang, who had been oppressed for a long time, slapped his storage bag, and various magical items flew out crazy. With Lin Haoyang's current divine sense power, he could control everything he failed to reach the strongest state. Especially when he held Zhen Yu again, Lin Haoyang was very excited. With Lin Haoyang's scream, others finally realized that divine sense was unblocked, and they all showed ecstasy. These days everyone divine sense has been blocked, and they have lived too badly. They have been chased and beaten by demonic beasts. This is an unprecedented grievance. Even Zuo Qianji was extremely excited at this moment. The moment the Qingfeng sword was in his hand, his combat power rose to a level. Facing the extremely excited crowd, demonic beasts started to panic, and even spit out the inner alchemy at close range, trying to block the human race. But this time, their plan fell through, and the human race was so crazy. Rushed directly to the inner alchemy with a strong head. 65%. Chapter 391. The people who unblocked divine sense were all crazy. All kinds of killer moves, tricks, and backhands were displayed one after another, and the world suddenly fell apart. Many inner alchemy were blasted by angry living beings. Joe Buping's halberd spread out, and the terrifying power brought a sonic boom, directly blasting a fifth-order inner alchemy the size of a human head. Zuo Qianji and Lu Shengyun were even more crazy, rushing directly into the inner alchemy group, smashing each inner alchemy, terrifying. Except for the fierce men in nascent soul, the most terrifying thing is Lin Haoyang, because he rushed too fast before and was already very close to the demonic beasts group. With a sweep of Zhenyu in his hand, the Tier 4 middle-grade demonic beasts that had previously been hit by soul fixation were beaten into mud. Lin Haoyang's own strength and Zhenyu's weight have exceeded 100,000 catties, so that the weight almost exceeds the limit of golden core, and the Tier 4 demonic beasts were directly turned into mud by Zhenyu. At the same time, Lin Haoyang was well taken care of. More than a dozen demonic beasts, Tier 4 demonic beasts, came straight to him. With more than a dozen inner alchemy gathered together, even nascent soul has to temporarily avoid the edge, but Lin Haoyang has no intention of hiding. The blood swelled all over the body, and the red blood covered Zhenyu's sword along the arm, and then the sharpness turned, and blood qi turned into Zhenyu's sword. This time, Zhenyu Zhanfang's length increased sharply, bringing its total length to 3 meters, and Lin Haoyang looked a little petite in front of Zhenyu. The 3-meter-long Zhenyu made Lin Haoyang seem to be fighting with a door panel, but Lin Haoyang also felt an unprecedented strength. Lin Haoyang had a hunch in his heart that if he hit this strike, it would be earth-shattering. Although he was full of confidence in Zhenyu, if these demonic beasts' inner alchemy were defeated in this way, he would still be a little bit reluctant. Just when Niden was about to hit Lin Haoyang's eyebrows shook, and an unprecedented powerful divine sense force suddenly rushed out of Lin Haoyang's sea of consciousness. In Lin Haoyang's sea of knowledge, his divine sense, sitting cross-legged, opened his eyes for the first time. The eyes of the ghostly shadow are not like those of Lin Haoyang, except for the white eyes, they are all in pitch black. At a glance, I can't help but indulge in it. A soul-fixing technique that had exploded subconsciously before, and a soul-fixing technique that was several times more powerful than before was launched outrageously. A dark beam of light shot from the center of Lin Haoyang's eyebrows, and went straight to the 13 demonic beasts' inner alchemy galloping from the opposite side. These inner alchemy have strengths and weaknesses, but 13 of them fight together, even some nascent soul early-stage cultivator, they dare not resist, but Lin Haoyang didn't mean to dodge in the slightest. After playing the soul, Lin Haoyang held Zhenyu for a round, and the half-meter-long sword cut through the air, and bursts of sonic booms sounded one after another. The black light of soul fixing was as fast as lightning, and in just an instant, it came to the inner alchemy of 13 demonic beasts. Looking at the black light, Lin Haoyang was actually a little dazed. He had cultivated soul concentration for decades. For the first time, he saw that soul concentration was in a physical state. Lin Haoyang had a sense of it. This soul concentration was in a physical state, and he certainly knew what he had in the world. Soul and shadow are related. But now he doesn't have time to think so much. Zhenyu's frontman in his hand is already open, and he is ready to use Tianfeng. That black light beam hit the 13 inner alchemy from Mercedes, and it was just a moment when the power of the terrifying divine sense exploded. Suddenly, all the demonic beasts of Tier 4 inferior inner alchemy couldn't bear it, and the demonic beasts above them were all lost. Without the control of the soul, the inner alchemy's momentum suddenly stagnated, gradually losing strength, and finally fell down. This time, among the 13 demonic beasts' inner alchemy, there were 6 lower-grade demonic beasts' inner alchemy of Tier 4, and most of them were suddenly gone. The masters of the 6 Tier 4 low-grade demonic beasts' inner alchemy are all masked with painful colors, and blood is flowing out of the 7 orifices. After the soul-fixing technique becomes the essence, it can not only confuse the enemy, but also cut the soul. The spirits on the 6 demonic beasts' inner alchemy were directly defeated by the soul-fixing technique. The spirits were destroyed, and the natural first creation was extremely serious. After taking a look at Lin Haoyang, the 6 demonic beasts hurriedly fled away. At this time, under the violent impact of the black light beam, another inner alchemy was defeated. These 4 were 4 4th-tier middle-grade inner alchemies, but they finally failed to resist, and finally fell to the ground. Lin Haoyang was also speechless by defeating the divine sense on demonic beasts' inner alchemy. After defeating the 10 spirits on the inner alchemy, the black light of the soul-fixing technique slowly dissipated, and the power dissipated. Of the 13 inner alchemies, 3 of them came straight to Lin Haoyang at the moment, and all of these 3 inner alchemy were the 4th tier top grade. However, after the weakening of soul confusion, most of the power of the 3 inner alchemy has been dissipated, leaving only 50%. If it were 3 fully powerful 4th tier high-grade inner alchemy, Lin Haoyang might still be afraid of 3 points, but the 3 inner alchemy that were weakened by half did not pose any threat to Lin Haoyang. Even Lin Haoyang bothered to use Tianfeng, only to see the bloody sword Qian Junyu shocked, and the blood greeted the 3 inner alchemy. The power of terror was pressed on the 3 inner alchemy, and in just a moment, they suppressed the 3 inner alchemy and fell to the ground. So far, the 13 demonic beasts' inner pills were easily suppressed by Lin Haoyang, and Lin Haoyang did not even hurt Lin Haoyang the slightest. Everyone was numb, and demonic beasts had begun to fall apart. There was only one thought in everyone's mind, and Lin Haoyang started to be inappropriate. Looking at the 13 inner alchemy that fell all over the floor, Lin Haoyang was delighted, opened his hand and sucked, and put the 13 inner alchemy into the storage bag one by one. If these 13 inner pills are all refined into foundation building pills, I am afraid that their value is not less than 1 million spirit stones, and Lin Haoyang is equivalent to getting rich overnight. After receiving the inner alchemy, Lin Haoyang cast his sights on the tier 4 demonic beasts group ahead. At this moment, Lu Shengyan, Zuo Qianji and others were already going to kill the demonic beasts army, and he could not delay any longer. Zhen Yu trembled in Lin Haoyang's hand, and the original bloody sword Qi suddenly became bitter, which was Tianfeng's characteristic. The demonic beasts across from Lin Haoyang saw that Lin Haoyang was about to use Zhen Yu to use the sky front. Coupled with Lin Haoyang's weird soul-fixing technique, the demonic beasts finally couldn't hold it, and began to flee in all directions. Seeing this scene, everyone was stunned. They did not expect that Lin Haoyang would directly frighten demonic beasts to collapse. Demonic beasts collapsed and fled in all directions. How could Lin Haoyang miss such a good opportunity? He immediately rushed in from the gap and went straight to the red world. When the demonic beasts saw Lin Haoyang rushing over, they all gave way in panic, and no demonic beasts dared to stop him. Without demonic beasts to stop him, Lin Haoyang quickly broke through the demonic beasts' defensive circle and rushed towards the red world. At the same time, Zuo Qianji, Lu Shengyan and others have also broken through the defense of demonic beasts and started to kill the red realm. The 4 people opened up 4 gaps for everyone. No matter how hard the demonic beast's line of defense was to resist the attacks of everyone, people began to break through the defense of demonic beasts and kill them to the red world. Although Lin Haoyang's techniques of violent foot and dry flame fire escape were fully activated, his speed began to fall short of the 3 nascent souls, and the 4th one entered the red world. As soon as he entered the red world, Lin Haoyang felt an extremely strong spirit power, which was stronger than the general 6th order spiritual veins, making Lin Haoyang comfortable. But immediately, Lin Haoyang was startled by the bloody color in front of him again. I was afraid this red world would be the most dangerous area. After stepping into the red world, Lin Haoyang shuddered in consciousness, as if something was calling him. 66%. Chapter 392. Lin Haoyang frowned. This feeling was very strong, as if there was something in this red world. Now the human race has broken through the demonic beast's line, and is making every effort to enter the red world. At this time, whether he is there or not, it will not have a big impact. It is better to see what it is that calls him. There may be unexpected gains. So Lin Haoyang turned around and flew towards the remote area of the red world, where there was a crimson blood cloud, similar to the clouds in other color worlds. Lin Haoyang marched all the way, because he was the first to come in and head straight here, so he saw a lot of soul crystals on the road. These soul essence crystals are huge, and in a short while, Lin Haoyang has collected 3 or 2 fist-sized soul essence crystals, which is about to catch up with the sum he found before. After walking for about a quarter of an hour, Lin Haoyang came to a land full of red clouds. The call he felt before came from here. Lin Haoyang looked around. There was nothing except the red clouds at the end. Lin Haoyang let go of divine sense and began to search among these red clouds. Soon, his complexion changed. In this red cloud, something seemed to be hidden in the shadow. The thing was very huge, about 3 meters high and 1 meter wide, which was really not small. Lin Haoyang was extremely excited. In this world, there was nothing extra except for the clouds and the soul element. Since that thing is not a cloud, it must be the soul element crystal, such a huge piece of soul element crystal, even with Lin Haoyang's temperament, he can't hold it. If such a large piece of soul crystal is all about it, I am afraid he is really going to make a fortune. Such a huge piece of soul crystal is likely to be worth more than 10 million spirit stones. Lin Haoyang shot out a spirit power and eliminated all the red spirit power around the boulder. Only then did Lin Haoyang see the real situation of the boulder inside. What disappointed Lin Haoyang was that this boulder was not a soul crystal, and the material of this boulder, Lin Haoyang was also very attributed, it was Junyu's mixed gold for the weight of ascension. Such a huge piece of mixed yuan gold may weigh more than hundreds of thousands of catties, so who put it here? Lin Haoyang's mind flashed, and he had only seen such a huge Hunyuanjin produced in Tianqing Minor World. At Tianqing Minor World that day, the 10-armed blue husband said that the news of the birth of the immortal tomb could be spread out by themselves. Combining this huge amount of gold and the power of calling, Lin Haoyang was 70% sure. I am sure that this colorful bubble is related to Tianqing Minor World. Otherwise, how could such a magical treasure appear here out of thin air? There must be some connection in it. Lin Haoyang walked into the Hunyuanjin, and the call came again. At such a distance, Lin Haoyang was sure that the call came from this Hunyuanjin. Stretching out his right arm, Lin Haoyang touched the Hunyuanjin, and a burst of information was thrown into Lin Haoyang's divine sense. My little friend, it seems to be very predestined. This is our means to spread the news to the outside world. In addition to this magical item, there are 3 other places. Now the news of the birth of the fairy tomb has been spread, demonic beasts and your human race are already known. When the tomb of fallen time is opened, please bring your teacher to come for a while. Since there is a fate, this magical item will be given to you, its name is called Chi Kai Qianyan Cover. Quote. After that, the voice of the 10-armed blue husband disappeared, and a ray of colorful aura penetrated into Lin Haoyang's sea of consciousness. The colorful aura came into his mind, and Lin Haoyang instantly had more ways to control the colorful bubbles. Seeing this, Lin Haoyang was overjoyed. It was such a coincidence that he had never imagined that these colorful bubbles were actually used by Tianqing Minor World to transmit information to the outside world. He also got the method to control the 7-color thousand clouds by mistake. Just imagine that the top 5 demonic beasts and Lu Shengyan are still fighting for the control center. Following the method in his mind, Lin Haoyang hand seals both hands, and a colorful restrictions appeared in Lin Haoyang's palm. Through this colorful aura, Lin Haoyang's divine sense can spread throughout the colorful bubble, but unlike what he thought before, he can't control the colorful thousand cloud cover to kill the demonic beasts in one go. The 7-color thousand cloud cover is not an attack-type magical item, but a defense and space-type magical item. This is why the Thunder Beast could not defeat it with a single blow. As for the counterattack of the colorful thousand cloud cover, it was the function of the restriction spirit pattern. Controlling this ray of colorful aura, Lin Haoyang also has absolute control over the 7-colored thousand cloud cover, and he can appear anywhere within the 7-colored thousand cloud cover. However, because the rank of the 7-color thousand cloud cover was too high, Lin Haoyang had very limited control rights. Suddenly, Lin Haoyang's eyes condensed, and his heart was furious. Now that the 7-colored thousand cloud cover is his, the soul primitive crystals in it are naturally his, but he borrowed the 7-colored thousand cloud cover and saw rogue cultivators attack. After going to the red realm, start searching for the soul crystal. There are a lot of soul crystals that have fallen into the hands of these rogue cultivators, and Lin Haoyang is furious. Isn't it clear that he was stealing something? How can this work? They entered the 7-colored thousand cloud cover, and time has passed. Since the function of the 7-colored thousand cloud cover is to pass the news of the birth of the fairy tomb, Lin Haoyang will help them. I saw Lin Haoyang holding the wisp of colorful spirit power and slapped his palm on the mixed yuan gold, and the surrounding red clouds suddenly surged, and then the huge mixed yuan gold rose into the sky. Go straight to the center of the battlefield, where the demonic beasts and the human race are fighting fiercely. Suddenly a large red cloud appeared in the sky, and the cultivators on both sides were surprised by this scene. The 5 demonic beasts suddenly rejoiced, thinking that this red cloud is the central restrictions that control the colorful cloud cover. Using their strongest means, they repelled Zuo Qianji and others, and then went straight to the red cloud catching area. Although the Terran has broken through 4 gaps, not many people have rushed here. It is still somewhat difficult to take over the full burst of the 5 major demonic beasts. Zuo Qianji, Lu Shengyan, and Zhou Buping were repulsed, and the complexion on their faces changed wildly. Obviously, They also believed that the red cloud was the control center that controlled the colorful thousand cloud cover. However, when the 5 major demonic beasts grabbed the red cloud, their complexions changed wildly, and then they all spewed blood. The most unlucky thing was Thunder Beast. He was right in front of Hong Yun, and Hong Yun directly smashed him into fullness. Hundreds of thousands of caddies of mixed yuan gold smashed on the Thunder Beast with a terrifying force, even if he was a Tier 5 top-grade demonic beasts, even if he had blood of Tier 6 demonic beasts in his body, in this huge mixed yuan gold it was all in vain in front of me. Bump. Lei Beast had no time to evade. It turned into a bouquet of blood and exploded, completely dead. Afterwards, the blood-red cloud carrying the stump of the Thunder Beast fell in front of everyone, the red cloud dispersed, and 8 characters appeared on the Hunyuanjin stone stele. The Tianqing reappeared, and the fairy tomb was born. These 8 characters were originally there, but they didn't appear because of Lin Haoyang. Everyone was terrified when they appeared at this moment. On the human side, Long Tu Yilin and Jilin know about it, but there are more rogue cultivators and sect cultivators who don't know. For a while, the sentiment was infuriated, and the fairy tomb meant that there were immortals in it. The cultivator was cultivating the Taoism. Isn't it just for immortal ascension? Now that the fairy tomb is born, who doesn't want it? Even the demonic beast side was shocked and speechless. 66%. Chapter 393. Lin Haoyang was in another place. Through the colorful thousand clouds cover, he clearly saw that Hun Yuanjin smashed the Thunder Beast into mud. He didn't expect that, by mistake, Lei Beast would be killed. This only shows that Lei Beast is really unlucky. First he was severely injured by Lu Shengyan, the Thunder territory was broken, even the inner pill was taken away, and now he died tragically under Hun Yuanjin. The top 5 demonic beasts, I am afraid he is the saddest one. At the moment when the Lei Beast died, the 6th order Thunder Beast outside suddenly turned dark and his complexion became extremely ugly. 5 pole demonic beasts are his parents and children, and they are connected by blood. Now that the 5th order Thunder Beast is dead, he naturally feels it. Thunder suddenly appeared behind Leiju. Murderous intent burst in his eyes, and he looked straight at the colorful Cheniansha in front of him. Everyone at the scene immediately understood that there was only one reason why the Thunder Beast was so popular. It seemed that the human race had a great advantage in the colorful thousand cloud cover, and even killed a Tier 6 demonic beast's parent and child. Just when the anger in Lei Beast's heart was difficult to suppress, Chikai Qianyan Xiao suddenly trembled violently, and then shrank quickly. From 30,000 meters directly, to 20,000 meters, and finally to 10,000 meters. The people in the red world only felt the huge repulsive force coming from the colorful thousand cloud cover, making it difficult for them to contend, and soon both the demonic beast side and the human side were thrown out of the colorful thousand cloud cover one by one. As the colorful thousand clouds shrank, people and cultivators were thrown out and landed on the ground. Seeing this, the Tier 6 demonic beasts and the cultivator of the god of transformation used methods to take their own men and horses over. In less than 10 breaths of time, everyone was thrown out of the colorful thousand cloud cover. In order to be more realistic, Lin Haoyang let the colorful thousand cloud cover throw him out. His complexion was a little pale, just urging the red cloud of the red world to transport the mixed yuan gold to everyone's eyes, and he was almost drained. With his golden core cultivation base, it is too reluctant to promote this 7th order magical item. After everyone came out, the colorful thousand cloud cover continued to shrink. The 5 major Tier 6 demonic beasts and the 5 cultivators tried to hide them in their hands. But what they didn't expect was that the colorful thousand cloud cover finally shrank into a particle of dust and disappeared in the eyes of everyone. The 5 Tier 6 demonic beasts and the 5 Wa gods all looked ugly, and even if the 7-color thousand cloud cover was a Tier 7 magical item, they wouldn't run away from them. Unless, this magical item already has an owner, and someone secretly manipulated it just now, so with the power of the 7 realms magical item, it is possible to escape from them. Everyone turned dark, and no one knew who took away this colorful thousand cloud cover, and the safest way was to kill everyone present. The killing intent was filled with Thunder Beast's eyes. His parents and children died in the colorful thousand cloud cover. Even if there were no such incidents, he would still take action. Now, it is for the other 4 Tier 5 demonic beasts to have to take full action. The scene immediately prevents the needle from being audible, but if there is the slightest disturbance, I am afraid it will cause a big battle. The 5 Tier 6 demonic beasts and the 5 gods will fight at all costs. I am afraid that except for a few nascent soul, everyone else and demonic beasts will die here. At this moment, the cultivator and demonic beasts who had been thrown out of the colorful thousand clouds covered the news that they had received on Hunyuanjin, and they spread the news one after another. The 5 Tier 6 demonic beasts all changed wildly, with unexpected expressions in their eyes. The fairy tomb, what kind of existence it is, its value far exceeds the colorful thousand clouds cover. If a fairy tomb was born, then the disappearance of the colorful thousand cloud cover does not necessarily mean that there is a master, but the person who wants to spread the news will take this magical item back. Although Lei Shou was shocked by the news of the fairy tomb, it was still difficult to accept the death of his parents and children, but he knew that it was impossible to start a complete war today. However, the person who killed his parent and child must die. As long as you hand over the murderer who killed my child, I won't take action today. Tier 6 Thunder Beast said angrily. But as soon as he said this, everyone in the room looked at each other, the demonic beasts all had an awkward expression, and the humans had an unstoppable smile. As the instigator, Lin Haoyang shrank his whole body. If the Tier 6 Thunder Beast knew that he had moved the Hunyuan Jin and smashed the Thunder Beast to death, I am afraid that his life today would be in danger. Lei Beast was not stupid. He saw that something was wrong, and as soon as the Thunder Domain opened behind him, he grabbed a Tier 5 demonic beasts and asked angrily. Say, who killed my child so boldly? In front of the Tier 6 Thunder Beast, the Tier 5 demonic beasts, like a chicken being lifted, finally trembled. Your parent and child. He was smashed to death. The 6th Order Thunder Beast frowned, suddenly had a bad feeling, thunderous all over his body, very scary, and continued to ask. Who caused it? The stone tablet that records the opening of the fairy tomb. Master Thunder Beast snatched the stone tablet, and was finally smashed to death. Tier 5 demonic beast said in horror. Tier 6 Thunder Beast's mouth twitched and was killed by a stone tablet. The 6th Order Thunder Beast felt like a tens of thousands of horses galloping in his heart at this moment. Can he die a little more funny? Originally, Tier 6 demonic beasts was angry before the death of the Thunder Beast, but at this moment, he felt a burst of fire on his face. The death of the Tier 5 Thunder Beast was too strange. He just said blatantly for revenge, and now he can't find a target. Since the Immortal Tomb was born, it was impossible for both parties to do it. Since the battle could not go on, the Tier 6 Thunder Beast had no face to stay here. I'll leave it to you here. After all, Tier 6 Thunder Beast rose up from the sky and left here. When the human race saw the Lei Beast running away, he laughed, but he didn't dare to be too presumptuous. After all, it is still a matter of life and death. The 4 major Tier 6 demonic beasts can pinch them to death at any time. They didn't care about the people underneath, and they didn't care about what happened in the colorful thousand clouds now. The most important thing now is the fairy tomb. Now that the news of the fairy tomb came out, the fire beasts and other Tier 6 demonic beasts finally understood why Zhao Duanlong and other cultivators of the gods appeared here. I am afraid they came for the fairy tomb. With the occupied land as the boundary, we can't go any further. How about it? Fire Beast asked. Zhao Duanlong and others shook their heads and said, I can't control the people here. I can only guarantee that if you don't make a move, I won't make a move. Agree. Longtu's transformation of the gods. The fire beast gritted his teeth. Obviously he knew that the human race was divided into sects, and it was impossible for everyone to obey him. However, compared with the fairy tomb, the loss of a few 5th order spiritual veins is nothing. Okay, it's a deal, Huo Beast said. A word is settled. Tier 6 demonic beasts signed a soul oath with the humanized god, and before the appearance of the Tianqing minor world, the top combat power of both sides could not be achieved. As for those below the transformation of the gods, this is not necessary. The struggle for spiritual veins depends on their ability. This made the cultivators of Zheng, Song, and Zhao a sigh of relief. If the 5 cultivators really want to intervene in their march into the wilderness, it will be difficult for them to do it. Subsequently, under the leadership of the 5 cultivators, everyone evacuated to the human race area. Everyone has gained a lot from this trip to the colorful thousand clouds. Although it is impossible for all of them to push divine sense ascension to the limit like Lin Haoyang, there is still no problem with 2 or 3 levels of ascension. But this time, the casualty rate was also extremely high. The number of deaths reached 30%, and the losses in each case were not small. 66%. Chapter 394. It was correct that Lin Haoyang didn't let the people of Xuanzhenzong come here, because Lin Haoyang couldn't guarantee that they would survive the previous struggle. As for the chance, the 7-colored thousand cloud cover is Lin Haoyang's, and the soul essence inside is naturally Lin Haoyang's. The Red Realm is the area with the most soul primordial crystals. Demonic beasts and the human race did not explore the Red Realm at all in order to compete for the central control of the colorful thousand cloud cover. When the rogue cultivators were about to enter the Red World and search for it, Lin Haoyang immediately threw everyone out, and the loss of the Red World was less than 1/10. The remaining soul essence crystals are definitely enough for Lin Haoyang to use. If this batch of soul essence crystals is sold, this will be an extremely huge income. However, compared with Qi Kai Qianyan Shao, these soul crystals are pediatrics. At the original auction, a semi-finished Tier 7 magical item sold no less than tens of millions of spirit stones. If spirit stones were used to measure the value of the colorful thousand clouds, it would have reached tens of millions. After all, in addition to its terrifying defensive power, the colorful thousand cloud cover can also carry living creatures. Such a treasure, even if it is a cultivator, cannot escape the common sense. It took a month for Lin Haoyang and others to return to Baiyu Mountain, and as for the Dragon 2 first line, they returned to their own 6th order spiritual line. With the help of the teleportation formation, Xuanzhenzong made another big profit, temporarily alleviating the pressure on spirit stones. Beginning in front of him, Xuanzhenzong began to vigorously develop Baiyu Mountain and the surrounding 4 5th order spiritual veins. The spirit stones invested every day are astronomical numbers. Among them, Xuanzhenzong drew out the treasury, and only paid less than 50%, and the rest was paid by Jiling's line. Fortunately, when developing Tier 5 spirit vessels and worshipping Moon Mountain, they obtained a lot of resources, otherwise it would be difficult to support them by relying on the extreme spirit veins alone. Even though they are the 7th rank forces, each of them consumes a great deal of their own. Even if Long Tuzi gave them some resources, they couldn't hold them back from sitting in this way. But there is also good news. Among the 4 5th order spiritual veins, Pan Yushan is a mineral-type spiritual vein. There are 2 kinds of 5th order minerals in it, and there is also a medium-sized spirit stones mine, which can produce 100,000 spirit stones a year. As for Tier 4 and Tier 3 spirit veins, there are dozens of them. If all are mined, the annual income will reach 700,000 or 800,000 spirit stones. To develop so many spiritual veins, the Xuanzhen sect is seriously short of manpower. It is almost a wishful thinking to open up all the minerals, and can only give priority to the development of the spirit stones mine to relieve the tension of the spirit stones. In addition, the top-grade spirit stones mine in Baiyu Mountain can produce an average of 250,000 spirit stones per year, which can temporarily relieve 1 or 2. Together with other special products and Chenjiangya assets, Xuanzhenzong earns 1 million spirit stones per year. It can be barely achieved. Even so, the Xuanzhen sect disciples' life is still tight. The only comfort is that in Baiyu Mountain, such as the 6th order spiritual vein cultivation, it saves them how much they don't know how to spend. This is also the reason why everyone is attracted here. Lin Haoyang and others returned to the Xuanzhen sect. Even if they announced closed-door training, although it was closed-door training, they directly pulled Zhao Duanlong and Yang Ji into their immortal cave. As for Duan Hong, he was presiding over the construction of the Xuanzhen sect at this moment and had no time. Little junior brother, so mysterious, what's the so-called? Zhao Duanlong asked. Although it was in his immortal cave, Lin Haoyang was still a little worried, and said, "Please also ask brother to hold up an enchantment to prevent outsiders from eavesdropping." Lin Haoyang said that. The two came to be interested, what strength he was, and someone dared to eavesdrop. Lin Haoyang was so careful that what he was going to say was absolutely amazing. A trace of spirit power appeared in Zhao Duanlong's palm. After setting up the enchantment, Zhao Duanlong said, "Unless the strength is far beyond me, no one can eavesdrop on us. Let's talk. What the hell did you do?" Lin Haoyang was relieved, and then, at the center of his eyebrows, a colorful round bead appeared in front of everyone. This bead was only the size of a thumb, and it was taken out by Lin Haoyang at this moment, and it immediately radiated colorful light. When Zhao Duanlong and Yang Ji saw the colorful round beads, their expressions suddenly changed. They only took a look at them and they recognized that it was the treasure that disappeared that day. It turned out that Lin Haoyang was the one who took away the treasure that day. It was hard to hide the joy on the faces of the two of them. No wonder Lin Haoyang cherished it so much, because it was because of it. Later, Lin Haoyang told the two of the process of obtaining this colorful thousand cloud cover, and at the same time, also told the two of the effect of the colorful thousand cloud cover. When they heard that the colorful Qianyan cover could carry living things, and the space was not small, even Zhao Duanlong and Yang Ji were stunned. The two asked Lin Haoyang to release the colorful thousand cloud cover, and the two of them wanted to go in and see what the limit of this magical item was. Lin Haoyang nodded, the colorful colors in his hand flowed, and the colorful thousand cloud cover suddenly expanded, turning into a diameter of 1 meter. Zhao Duanlong and Ouyang Ji looked at each other, and then they turned into two streams of light and entered the inner pill of colorful Qianyan cover. After more than 10 breaths, the two came out of the colorful thousand cloud cover, with ecstatic expressions on their faces, and said, "This magical item is 10 times the difference between the inside and the outside. When viewed from the outside, it is 1 meter in diameter, but it turns into 10 meters on the inside." That day, the colorful cloud cover turned into a giant 30,000 meter giant, and within it was a huge space with a diameter of 300,000 meters. This is why it takes you a few days to walk from one side to the other. Quote. Hearing this, Lin Haoyang suddenly realized that he was still wondering that if it were 1-to-1, how could he not spend so much time on the road? The limit of this magical item should be 30,000 meters. However, although its limit is 30,000 meters, for us, we can't even use it. Moreover, this magical item is obviously made by the Hidao cultivator for himself, because only the Hidao cultivator has the Dantian space, and this kind of thing is to magnify the Dantian space 10 times, and it can store living things. I underestimated it before, so it seems that even in the 7th order magical item, I am afraid it can be ranked among the top. Little brother, you are lucky to have such a good magical item. Zhao Duanlong smiled. Lin Haoyang smiled. It turned out that the colorful thousand cloud cover was used in this way. It must be matched with the Dantian space to fully play its role. Although he also has a Dantian space, his Dantian space is too small, and holding this thing is too wasteful. Senior brother, this thing is useless for me to hold it. Please, two seniors will transfer it to the master. Lin Haoyang sent the colorful thousand clouds to the two seniors respectfully. But what Lin Haoyang didn't expect was that Zhao Duanlong smiled on his face and flicked his fingers before returning the colorful thousand clouds to Lin Haoyang. For such a treasure, when you see master in the future, you will give it to him. Now, you still go to the closed door training in the cave hall of the Moon Mountain Peak. If you don't cultivation the 2nd level of the Good Fortune chapter to Shaocheng, you can't leave it. Zhao Duanlong said. Lin Haoyang's face turned black, and Zhao Duanlong's shock of rejecting the colorful thousand cloud cover was forgotten. Good Fortune Shaocheng, that needs to condense 81 Good Fortune orbs. I am afraid that in the next few years, he will not be able to get out of the cave hall. 66%. Chapter 395 Lin Xuanlin breaks the knot. Zhao Duanlong and Ouyang Ji laughed and left Lin Haoyang's immortal cave one after another, leaving Lin Haoyang alone in a daze. Of course, before the closed-door training, he had to meet with all his friends, and he had to take out a part of the soul crystals to improve the strength of the profound true sect. The most important thing is that this time closed-door training is too long, and he wants to meet Bai Qingyan and Lin Xuanlin. At the same time, his grandfather Lin Xuancheng will also meet him. Lin Haoyang used the foundation building Dan to pile Lin Zan into the foundation building, which extended his lifespan. However, Lin Xuancheng's talent is limited. After completing the 3rd floor of the foundation building, he can no longer take a step. For so many years, cultivation base has not grown at all. However, there is no cultivation talent. Lin Xuancheng is in refining puppets, but he has extraordinary talents. A long time ago, Lin Xuancheng has become a 3rd-tier high-grade puppet master. With this technique, Lin Xuancheng's position in sect is no worse than some golden core elders. When Lin Haoyang went to see him this time, in addition to leaving a fist-sized soul crystal, he also left some medicine pills to prolong life. Although Xuanzhenzong's battles have continued over the years, Lin Xuancheng has not been involved in it, because he is alive and has a much greater effect than going on the battlefield. Nowadays, the foundation building puppets of Xuanzhenzong have become a unique sect. Qingyunzong and Taiwan are two sects will send people to purchase and refine the puppets every year, which has become a big income of Xuanzhenzong. However, Lin Haoyang's talent for puppets is really not good. Lin Xuancheng can only accept 3 apprentices himself, and teach them the refining technique while teaching them puppets. I only hope that in 100 years, the bundle of Xuanzhenzong's puppets will not be cut off. After seeing Lin Xuancheng, Lin Haoyang found Lin Qianlong and the others, and asked about the development status of Xuanzhen sect, and then bestowed the soul Yuanjing before leaving. There are 3 seniors in Xuanzhenzong who help with the management and construction, and he doesn't need to worry about them at all. What's more, these things are the most annoying for him. Now that the war broke out, the Iron City was also unblocked. After Lin Haoyang taught the Tianfeng sword technique to Cao Ying, he asked Cao Ying to go to the Iron City to pick up the four of Lin Shaowen. Now that Xuanzhenzong has its own sixth-order spiritual vein, it is not necessary for Lin Shaowen and others to continue to stay in the Iron Blood City. In particular, the four of them stayed in the Iron Blood City. Without sect support, the cultivation speed would inevitably lag far behind. Even Lin Haoyang's newly created cultivation technique could not cultivate. Lin Haoyang had to send Cao Ying to Jagged City, and by the way, to find out if anything major happened to the human race recently. Afterwards, Lin Haoyang took the teleportation formation and arrived at Zongyu Mountain, which was regarded as a transit station, and was very well managed by the Azure Cloud sect. Because of the large amount of minerals, although the business is good, there are not many outsiders, but people from the Qingyun main sect and a few people from nearby sect temporarily settled here. As soon as Lin Haoyang arrived, he was warmly welcomed by the Qingyunzong disciples, and even shocked Zhou Zunyuan, who was guarding the place. Originally, Lin Haoyang didn't intend to disturb, and when he saw Bai Qingyun and Lin Xuanlin, he planned to go back to closed-door training, but Zhou Zunyuan heard that Lin Haoyang was here and looked for them directly. The relationship between Lin Haoyang and Zhou Zunyuan was quite good, and it was not easy to refuse, so he gathered with Zhou Zunyuan. Before going deep into the wilderness, Zhou Zunyuan was very unfortunate. He broke his arm and his path was ruined. He could only stay in the realm on the first floor of Nascent Soul for life. But Zhou Xuan was not at all depressed. With his aptitude, being able to cultivate into Nascent Soul was already a great blessing. If it weren't for the Wasteland season, I am afraid that he could only stop at Golden Core in this life. After a long talk with Zhou Zunyuan for 2 or 3 hours, Zhou Zunyuan let him go. Although it was delayed for some time, Lin Haoyang was still very happy. It was really rare to reminisce with old friends. After spending 2 days on the road, Lin Haoyang finally arrived at Qian Mountain. According to the original division, Qi Yunshan should belong to Xuanzhen sect, but because Xuanzhen sect had too few manpower, it was temporarily handed over to Qingyun sect and Zhongshan Tower for development. When Xuanzhen sect had sufficient manpower, he would return to Qian Mountain. But this process must take a long time. After all, besides Baiyu Mountain, the 6th order spiritual vein, there are 12 5th order spiritual veins around. I am afraid that the Xuanzhen sect has developed for 100 years and cannot fully develop these spiritual veins. This is why the Qingyun and Chongshan sects are willing to work together to develop this spiritual vein. 100 years is completely enough to earn back with interest. Now there are 3 people in charge of Qi Yunshan, Bai Qingyun, Lin Xuanlin, and Su Ling. The 3 have a close relationship with Lin Haoyang. Even if there is any dispute, Xuanzhenzong will not be embarrassed. What surprised Lin Haoyang was that when he came to Qian Mountain again, it was already very different from the past, but just like Zufeng Mountain, it had large tracts of spiritual bamboo. Moreover, Lin Haoyang always felt that these spirit bamboos were very familiar. Lin Haoyang did not hide his figure when he arrived, and the people on Qi Yunshan quickly found Lin Haoyang's trace. Bai Qingyun and Lin Xuanlin rushed out for the first time, and then Su Linger followed not far away. Although Su Linger and Lin Haoyang have a good relationship, they shouldn't disturb the reunion of the husband and wife. As for Lin Xuanlin, no one knows his relationship with Lin Haoyang. Seeing the 2 daughters coming from the sky, Lin Haoyang opened his arms and wanted to embrace both daughters in his arms, but what he didn't expect was that both of them showed disgust on their faces at the same time and avoided Lin Haoyang. Ah, you are getting more courage now. Just hold your daughter-in-law, even dare to fight my idea. Lin Xuanlin wrapped her arms around her chest and said with an old-fashioned look. Who wants to give him a hug? I heard that someone is in that secret treasure, but the sister who is in the same line as Long Tu is hiding in the clouds. Bai Qingyun said strangely. Hearing the words, hidden in the clouds, Lin Haoyang's face suddenly turned dark, and he secretly scolded Cao Ying as a traitor, and really told Bai Qingyun and Lin Xuanlin about the matter. At this moment, Cao Ying, who was rushing to Luofengling, suddenly sneezed, and then trembled all over her body, muttering. Who is talking bad about me? Here, Lin Haoyang was explaining bitterly with Bai Qingyun and Lin Xuanlin. Seeing their suspicious expressions, he almost cried. Secretly vowed in his heart that after he leaves the customs, he must teach Cao Ying a lesson. Just as Lin Haoyang explained more and more confusion, Bai Qingyun and Lin Xuanlin stepped forward, one left and one right into Lin Haoyang's arms. Fool, how could we not believe you? But if you dare to look for other women outside, our sisters will want you to look good. Bai Qingyan said. On the other side, Lin Xuanlin buried her head deeply into Lin Haoyang's chest, her face blushing. This was the first time she had fallen into Lin Haoyang's embrace. These days, Bai Qingyan has been trying to solve her, let her have no worries, because Qi Yunshan's strong vitality makes Lin Xuanlin very fond of it. They also made them reluctant to bear the Zhuhai and Zulo of Zufeng Mountain, so the two girls discussed and moved both Zhuhai and Zulo of Zufeng Mountain. In this way, Qi Yunshan made them feel at home, and also made Lin Xuanlin completely break the knot and be willing to become Lin Haoyang's woman. 66%. Chapter 396. Lin Haoyang was also nervous. Although he understood Lin Xuanlin's mind, he also liked Lin Xuanlin in his heart. If Lin Xuanlin couldn't get out of the knot, he couldn't force it. This time, Lin Xuanlin completely walked out of her hard knot, and also untied Lin Haoyang's Dao hard knot. She used her arms to firmly hold the two women in her arms. Looking at the bamboo sea in the distance, he finally understood where this familiarity came from. It turned out that this bamboo sea was the immortal cave originally selected by the three, but it was extremely suitable. Although this fifth-order spiritual vein is temporarily taken care of by Qingyunzong and Zhongshan Tower, the real master of this place is him, so this place is completely taken care of at will. Hey, you are enough, there are others here. Su Ling'er started to speak, unable to watch the nasty scene. Why, if you have the ability, you can also find a Dao companion. Lin Haoyang joked. Listening to this, Su Ling'er's face showed disdain, but her heart was full of emotion. She had always liked Lin Haoyang, but she couldn't reach the level of a Dao companion. However, with Lin Haoyang such an outstanding person, how could she admire other ordinary men? There are many single people in the cultivator world, and it is not necessary to look for Dao companions, suitable Dao companions, which can help each other on the road, but inappropriate Dao companions are obstacles to the fairy road. Then trouble Lin fellow Taoist to introduce you to the next one or two. My lifelong affairs are entrusted to the hands of Lin fellow Taoist. Su Ling'er rebelled and said proudly. Lin Haoyang listened for a moment, and asked him to help introduce the Dao companion. Under what circumstances is Su Ling'er really so hungry? Just when Lin Haoyang didn't know why, Su Ling'er chuckled and fell back into Qi Yunshan. Haoyang, you are dipping flowers and grass again, it seems that fellow Taoist Su can't escape your claws. What a wonderful girl. Bai Qingyan shook her head. Aside, Lin Xuanlin's face turned redder when she heard this. Lin Haoyang made a warm and angry look on his face and said, I don't care about her, you two will definitely not escape my clutches in this life. Having said that, Lin Haoyang used the willow waists of the two on the first floor, leading them to Qi Yun Mountain. The two women didn't resist, and even dissipated in spirit power, letting Lin Haoyang hold them. This scene was caught in the eyes of the two disciples of Qingyan and Chongshan in Qi Yunshan. That was an envy. If a cultivator can have a Dao companion, it is a great blessing. If there are two Dao companions, the two women still have a good relationship. This man may have accumulated great blessings in his previous life. Lin Haoyang and her two daughters landed in Qian Mountain. The bamboo sea, which could not be seen at the end, now only occupies a corner of Qian Mountain and has little impact on the development of the two Qian Mountain. In Qian Mountain, which is full of vitality, the bamboo sea grows very luxuriantly, and there is even a tendency to catch up with Zufeng Mountain. I saw the new bamboo shoots in the bamboo sea, fresh and green, some even with a hint of purple. Ziyu Lingju is a kind of fourth-order spiritual bamboo, which is very rare. In addition to being beautiful, it is also an extremely precious material for refining. Unexpectedly, this bamboo sea has begun to evolve fourth-order spiritual bamboo. Lin Haoyang actually does not appreciate the value of this purple jade spirit bamboo. It can be said that this piece of spirit bamboo has been compensated for them since the beginning, and it feels very deep. Let go of the two women, Lin Haoyang said. Wait for me. The two girls were all puzzled. They didn't know what Lin Haoyang was going to do, but Lin Haoyang came to the purple bamboo shoots, then patted the storage bag, and a bottle of life essence appeared in his hands. This bottle of life essence was his last bottle. In order to develop acupoints, Lin Haoyang had exhausted all the resources in his body. This bottle of life essence was specially reserved for emergency use. The cause of the day, the fruit of today, everything has its own set, I will help you. Lin Haoyang whispered, and then poured out a small half of the life liquid on the spiritual bamboo shoots. The original life liquid contains a very strong breath of life, but it is a deadly poison for ordinary people. If it is refined, it is extremely effective for the growth of spiritual plants. At the beginning, Lin Haoyang left Bai Qingyan a piece of life crystal and 10 caddies of life liquid. The life crystal level was too high, and Bai Qingyan couldn't do anything about it, but when refining some healing medicine pill, he grind a little powder to increase the quality of medicine pill. In the past few years, that piece of life crystal has only consumed less than 1%. As for the 10 kilograms of life essence, if it is used for pill refining, it will not save people but harm people. But when Lin Xuanlin saw this thing, she was extremely excited and immediately asked for it all. Most of the spiritual plants they cultivated were left behind, and the rest were all used on Jinji purple marrow, so that the growth cycle of Jinji purple marrow was greatly reduced. However, Bai Qingyan, Lin Xuanlin, and Xiao Yaogu of the two benefited the most. Because of these life essences, the time to complete medicine was cut in half, saving hundreds of years. Because of this, Lin Xuanlin even planted a seed of a Tier 5 elixir, which made her extremely happy. Now that Lin Haoyang was so squandering the essence of life, Lin Xuanlin couldn't beat her with anger, but immediately, a smile appeared on her face. Under the nourishment of Lin Haoyang's large amount of life essence, the spiritual bamboo shoot turned into purple, and the purification was completed in an instant. Not only that, just over 10 breaths of time, it was originally just a bamboo shoot, but it suddenly sprang up and turned into a purple jade spirit bamboo with the thickness of an arm. Even around it, there are 3 small bamboo shoots emerging. Unlike the previous ones, this one is already green. Seeing the purple jade spirit bamboo with the thickness of the arm grow out, Lin Haoyang nodded in satisfaction, not in vain of his painstaking efforts. Afterwards, Lin Haoyang returned to the second woman and said happily, "How about it? This purple jade spirit bamboo looks good." "What's so good? Hurry up and call out all the remaining life liquids. You are a waste. Do you know how many spirit bamboos can evolve with the life liquids you pour?" Lin Xuanlin said politely. Lin Haoyang had no choice but to pull out most of the remaining bottle of life essence. In terms of Lingzi, he was indeed inferior to Lin Xuanlin. Lin Xuanlin took the essence of life and put it in her storage bag happily. Although she didn't say anything, Lin Xuanlin really liked the purple jade spirit bamboo. Bai Qingyan didn't say anything aside, she looked at the purple jade spirit bamboo with a smile on her face. This bamboo sea has been with them for decades, and they have fallen in love with her a long time ago. After another burst of laughter, the 3 of them returned to the bamboo building. Sulinger was also there, and the 4 chatted about Qi Yunshan's situation. It wasn't until the setting sun went down that Sulinger left and returned to his immortal cave. Seeing Sulinger leaving, Bai Qingyan quietly leaned to Lin Haoyang's ear and whispered, "Let's have a baby." Lin Haoyang was taken aback for a moment. He didn't expect that Bai Qingyan would mention this. At the beginning, Lin Haoyang had not yet entered the line of Longtu, and his cultivation resources were extremely limited. The two decided to wait for someone to break through the nascent soul, and then dual cultivation to help him make his breakthrough. However, with Lin Haoyang's worship into the Dragon 2 family and the addition of the Buddha Xuanzhanju, Lin Haoyang's talents are compensated, resources are also secured, and Bai Qingyan also gets a blessing in disguise, so there is no need to worry about the time when he breaks through nascent soul in the future. Therefore, the previous worries are gone. Since it is a Tao companion, this dual cultivation is naturally indispensable. Lin Haoyang smiled and said, "Well, tonight is the wedding night in the bridal chamber." When Lin Xuanlin heard this, her face turned red, and she stood up and said, "I'm going back." But this time, Lin Haoyang did not let Lin Xuanlin go, and pulled Lin Xuanlin into his arms, saying, "This time, neither of you can run away." 66%. Chapter 397. This night, the bamboo building was brightly lit until dawn. Lin Haoyang, Bai Qingyan, and Lin Xuanlin are all elements of Yuanyang and Yuanyang. This dual cultivation, the intersection of Yuanyang and Yuanyang Qi, not only strengthens the origin, but also allows the 3 to make breakthroughs together. This is the magical effect of Yuanyang and Yuanyang. Originally, Lin Haoyang's cultivation base only broke through the 4th layer of the golden core. It would take years of accumulation to make another breakthrough. But after this dual cultivation, with the help of Bai Qingyan and Lin Xuanlin's yin, Lin Haoyang's cultivation base was forced to ascension to the 5th floor of the golden core. On the other hand, Bai Qingyan and Lin Xuanlin are still lying on the bed with flushing faces. With the help of Lin Haoyang's pure Yuanyang, both of them have broken through a small realm. Bai Qingyan broke through to the 4th floor of golden core, and Lin Xuanlin broke through to the 2nd floor of golden core. Lin Xuanlin had the worst qualifications, but had the most ascension. In one night, the cultivation base went directly from the middle stage on the first floor of Golden Core to the late stage on the second floor of Golden Core. It's only a little short of the Golden Core peak. From the perspective of cultivation base ascension, Lin Haoyang is still stronger. Although both are Golden Core, his Yuanyang allows both girls to break through the cultivation base. On the other hand, Lin Haoyang, with the help of the two female Yuanyang, Lin Haoyang broke through the cultivation base. On this day, the three of them started working 3 poles a day. For a whole day, the three of them had not cultivated or dealt with Qianshan's affairs, and they worked as an ordinary family in the bamboo house. The three of them cooked a rare meal, and then came to the purple cloud spirit bamboo. Lin Xuanlin took good care of it, so that it can get the best nutrition. Afterwards, Lin Haoyang went to the medicine field opened by Lin Xuanlin in Qian Mountain. It was opened by Lin Xuanlin herself and transplanted all the elixir of Zufeng Mountain. As for the spiritual field, it has not been opened yet. So, in the next few days, Lin Haoyang opened up a spiritual field in the ground, and Lin Xuanlin and Bai Qingyan cooked in the bamboo house and lived the life of the mortal male farming and female weaving. Lin Haoyang has managed Lian Valley anyway, and he is very familiar with the development of spiritual fields, but this time, Lin Haoyang is very careful and only opens up 5 acres of spiritual fields every day. With Lin Haoyang's current strength and Qi Yunshan's own spiritual qi concentration, even if 30 to 50 acres are opened every day, there is no big problem. However, Lin Haoyang still slowly cultivated every spiritual field. After each spiritual field was opened, he could directly plant 4th-order spiritual rice. Originally, there were only 2 people, Lin Xuanlin and Bai Qingyan, but now there is 1 Suling which is not good for people to watch and not eat. In the end, it took Lin Haoyang 10 days to open up 50 acres of Tier 4 spiritual fields. After that, Lin Haoyang personally planted the 4th-order spiritual rice for the 50 acres of spiritual land, and it was already half a month after everything was done. In the past half month, Lin Haoyang worked in the daytime, and went back to dual cultivation with Lin Xuanlin and Bai Qingyan at night, and had a very uncomfortable life. When the work in Lingtian was finished, Lin Haoyang chopped up wood on Qian Mountain and began to build houses with these wood. The bamboo building was built on Zufeng Mountain. Now that it is moving, it is natural to have a new home and build a house. For Lin Haoyang, the 4th-order pill refining master, it is still very simple. But this time, Lin Haoyang took it all by himself, building bricks and tiles by himself, and half a month later, Lin Haoyang built a house for the 2 daughters. Although it was not very big, it was enough for 3 people to live in. In the newly built house, there is nothing in the world of immortality, and it is no different from the ordinary house. Lin Haoyang held another small wedding in the house. The only guest was Su Linger, but Lin Xuanlin was given an upright reputation. After the wedding, Lin Haoyang stayed for another 3 days before returning to Baiyu Mountain. At the time of parting, Bai Qingyan and Lin Xuanlin stood in the house and wanted to send them away. This month was the happiest time they had ever had. This month is also the happiest time for Lin Haoyang. It is precisely because of this beauty that Lin Haoyang has to work hard to become stronger, and only the strong can control his own destiny. The skyrocketing cultivation base. After a month of precipitation, Lin Haoyang has fully adapted. For others, such a surge in cultivation base will definitely cause instability in cultivation base, but this situation will never happen to Lin Haoyang. Lin Haoyang's body and divine sense have reached the highest level of Golden Core. The rapid growth of cultivation base will not cause discomfort. On the contrary, the slow growth of cultivation base will be detrimental to Lin Haoyang. When Lin Haoyang answered Baiyu Mountain, he was arrested by Zhao Duanlong and went to the underground cave. This time, Zhao Duanlong's arrangement of restrictions can only be unlocked after he has cultivated to the 2nd level Shaocheng of good fortune. For these restrictions, Lin Haoyang didn't care so much, and instead regarded them as a spur to own. Lin Haoyang started to closed-door training for a long time, because the treasure hunting wave caused by the fairy tomb has spread throughout the human race area. And because of the suspension of demon cultivator and demonic beasts, a large number of cultivators have begun to converge on the edge. As a result, a large number of sect and rogue cultivators have appeared. This gave Xuanzhenzong another opportunity to develop. Baiyu Mountain is close to the dark forest. It can be said that the competition for the fairy tomb is a good time and place. In view of this, Zhao Duanlong and Ouyangji discussed and opened up a 5th-order spiritual vein as a foothold for these rogue cultivators and sect cultivators. There are still more than 40 years before the opening of Tianqing Minor World, but who can be sure that Tianqing Minor World will not appear in advance, so as soon as this news comes out, there will be a large number of cultivators gathering on the sidelines. The gathering of cultivators means that money can be transferred. Under Duan Hong's construction, a new Tier 5 spiritual vein, Wan Hongshan, was opened up. There are 12 fifth-tier spiritual veins, and there is a reason to choose Wanong Mountain. Wanongshan is a 5th-tier middle-grade spiritual vein, and ordinary 5th-tier middle-grade spiritual veins can carry 5 to 9 nascent soul cultivator cultivation. However, Wanong Mountain is very special. Its spirit power is very concentrated and stable. It has a concentration of spirit power in more than a dozen points, and it even reaches the 5th rank. In this way, the construction of a mortal cave in these dozen acupoints will meet the requirements of more than a dozen nascent souls. Moreover, Duan Hong also opened up a teleportation formation from Wanong Mountain to Baiyu Mountain. If the spirit power concentration of Wanong Mountain is not satisfied, he can also move to Baiyu Mountain. Of course, if you want to rent a mortal cave in Wanong Mountain and Baiyu Mountain, you need to pay for spirit stones. If you rent a mortal cave in Xuanzhen Sect, you will be protected by Xuanzhen Sect. There are 2 cultivators serving as honorary elders. Who else is worried? The most stable frontier, I'm afraid it will worship Yushan. So when Wanongshan had the immortal cave of Xuanzhen Sect for rent, it immediately attracted a large number of cultivators. The number of cultivators from nascent soul to Ningmei should exceed 5,000. The rent collected by Wan Hongshan alone amounts to 300,000 spirit stones each year. So many people will inevitably consume a large amount of spiritual rice every day. In this matter, Zhao Duanlong also went to the Dong sect in person, and signed a large number of orders with the Dongzong to directly increase the output of the Dongzong's annual spiritual rice. The package is round. Moreover, under Zhao Duanlong's deterrence, Dong Hazong is also responsible for delivering the rice to Chenjiangya every year. As long as the Lingmi is sent to Chenjiangya with a teleportation array, it will naturally be transported to Wanong Mountain quickly. Dong sect was able to agree so easily this time, firstly because of the deterrence of Zhao Duanlong's cultivation base. As the land reclamation season continues, more and more spiritual veins are occupied by each sect, and the sales of Dong Zongaling rice are not as good as each year. Now that there is such a big order, the old foxes of Dong sect will naturally not let it go. 67%. Chapter 398 5 years. After solving the problem of the supply of Ling rice, Wan Hongshan can sustain it for a long time. Because of Longtu's lineage, Xuanzhenzong also opened a large number of shops in Wanongshan. In these shops, you can buy Tier 5 medicine pill, Tier 5 magical items, and Tier 5 magical items. As long as you can think of, it can basically be satisfied here. The opening of shops immediately attracted a large number of cultivators to come again. Although the fairy tomb is good, it must be ordered, so before the fairy tomb is opened, they must arm themselves as much as possible. Nowadays, the number of demonic beasts in the wild has also increased sharply, and there is a tendency to counterattack. As soon as the news of the fairy tomb came out, 2 more Tier 7 demonic beasts army waited for the opportunity and began to gather in the dark forest. Today's dark forest is countless times more dangerous than when Lin Haoyang entered at that time. Because of the looting of territory, countless battles are staged in the dark forest every day. Hailong Biwan is also powerless. Although these territories are his territory, he has no time to take care of it. I can only reduce the power as much as possible and gather all the demonic beasts under his command near my lair. As for other places, I can only let the other 3 demonic beasts compete. But no matter what the dark forest is, it is also the territory of the Black Dragon Biwan, and half of the area is firmly occupied by the Black Dragon Biwan. The number of demonic beasts has greatly increased, and it is inevitable to launch a counter-offensive against the Terrans. Today, the density of demonic beasts is almost twice as high as before, and many Terran areas have been captured by the demonic beasts. Donglishan was once in crisis, and finally Zhao Duanlong was asked to take action to force the nearby demonic beasts to retreat. Now the 3 parties have a tendency to join forces, and Zhao Duanlong did not hide it. The Sanzong line was all protected by Zhao Duanlong. There was a cultivator covering the gods. Even if the number of demonic beasts doubled, he didn't dare to pay attention to 3 more cases. Demonic beasts began to detour and attack the human areas on both sides. As a result, forces such as the 4 sects of the Zheng Kingdom, the Song Kingdom, the Tai Yiman Gate, and the Chongshan Tower in Luofengling have suffered, and the number of demonic beasts has nearly tripled. For a while, these forces complained again and again, but they couldn't do anything with the dragon and 2 line. In addition to the god of transformation, there was a cultivator behind them. Even if they were trapped together, it was not enough for them to stuff their teeth together. Although the 4 sects of Jung Kingdom were miserable, relying on the strength of the 4 sects, it was not very difficult to hold them. The most annoying was the power of the Great Mountain Tower in Luofengling. Because of the incident that year, it was considered to have offended Zan Junzong. This difference in treatment was extremely obvious. Qian Wuan could hardly support it alone. He could only ask the Chongshan Tower to reinforce the 3 nascent souls, and then he could barely rectify the situation. If there was no such thing as Lin Xuanjing back then, I am afraid that Luo Fengling would be able to be under the protection of Longtu's line. Now inside the gate of Chongshanlu, some rumors about Wang Shuzhong have gradually arisen. He said that his followers had no means and no morals, and the front line of harm was tight, but after Wang Shuzhong heard these rumors and whispers, his heart was warm and angry, and he could only use some means to punish those who criticized him. As the battlefield between the demonic beasts and the human race gradually became anxious, time also quietly passed by, and Lin Haoyang has been closed-door training for almost 4 years. At the beginning of the closed-door training, Lin Haoyang used Yuehua to condense a good fortune orb in 1 month, and after half a year, he could condense a good fortune orb in half a month. After the first year, Lin Haoyang condensed 18 good fortune orbs, which consumed 1/10 of Yuehua condensation. Starting from the second year, Lin Haoyang can condense 3 good fortune orbs in 1 month, and after 3 years, there will be 108 good fortune orbs. With the addition of the good fortune orbs condensed before, Lin Haoyang Dantian has a total of 127.5 good fortune orbs. And the consumption of Yuehua condensation reached 70%. Seeing Yuehua's condensed dew that had consumed most of it, Lin Haoyang stopped and did not continue cultivation. These Yuehua condensations are extremely precious. Not all of them can be spent on his cultivation, but also some opportunities for future generations. Now that he has a small town on the 2nd floor of good fortune, he has already completed the task. He has been in closed-door training for 3 years, and it has been his longest time in closed-door training. However, Lin Haoyang did not rush out of the gate, but slapped his storage bag, and he took out 2 life crystals. After refining the 2 of you, I will leave. After all, Lin Haoyang urged Good Fortune Zhou Heavenly Tribulation again and began to refine 2 life crystals. The life crystal is lower than Yuehua condensation, and the speed of refining is also reduced. 1 year later, the last small piece of life crystal was refined by Lin Haoyang. After 1 year, the number of good fortune orbs in Lin Haoyang's body had reached 162. Zhao Duanlong's goal for Lin Haoyang that day was the 2nd level of good fortune Xiaocheng. Now that 5 years have passed, Lin Haoyang has condensed 162 good fortune orbs, which is about the same as Dacheng's 180 beads. In the past 5 years of hard work, Lin Haoyang's cultivation base has not made much progress. He only reached the middle stage of the 5th floor of Golden Core, which was brought up by refining 2 life crystals. In the previous 4 years, his cultivation base had hardly been deposited. Cultivation base has not made much progress, but Lin Haoyang's origin has become extremely powerful. Even some nascent soul cultivators can't compare to him. Because of the substantial enhancement of the body's origin, Lin Haoyang could feel that his own Yuanyang could not be recovered any differently, not less than when Yuanyang had not been lost. Unexpectedly, there is such a benefit to strengthen the body. It seems that it will be cheaper for Bai Qingyan and Lin Xuanlin. With a smile on Lin Haoyang's face, he whispered, "Now that 4 years have passed, I don't know what happened to the outside world." After all, Lin Haoyang appeared outside of restrictions. The restrictions that Zhao Duanlong rearranged had no effect on Lin Haoyang. In an immortal cave in Baiyu Mountain, Zhao Duanlong suddenly opened his eyes and smiled. 5 years, our little junior has finally left the customs. This time he used a bit of a long time. Opposite Zhao Duanlong, Wu Yangji also came and said, "I'm the little brother, I should have condensed 102 to 130 good fortune orbs." Zhao Duanlong didn't believe it, and said, "You think everyone is as perverted as you, I guess, at most 100, no more." Wu Yangji smiled, and when he hit a bright light, Lin Haoyang came here to see the 2 of them. Lin Haoyang, who had just left the underground Dongting, saw the ups and downs of the Xuanzhen sect on the mountainside, which was very lively and the number of people surged. Looking at this scale, in the past 5 years, the population of Xuanzhen sect has risen by 2,000 people. Regarding this, Lin Haoyang was a little worried. The absorption of such a large number of rogue cultivators might affect the foundation of Xuanzhenzong. No matter how many rogue cultivators are, they are still no better than the disciples they have cultivated. This is why the majority must have their own population base. Just when Lin Haoyang was worried, a flash of light flew up, and when he raised his hand to take it, he understood Yu Yangji's meaning. After a stick of incense, Lin Haoyang came to the place where Zhao Duanlong and Yu Yangji were. Haoyang has seen two seniors. Lin Haoyang bowed before him. Zhao Duanlong waved his hand hurriedly, interrupted Lin Haoyang, and asked, "Say, how many good fortune orbs did you condense this time?" 67%. Chapter 399. Dao Companion That Everyone Envy. Lin Haoyang was taken aback. He came out of closed-door training only 5 years ago. Did he disappoint the two seniors? This time closed-door training, I gathered. Before Lin Haoyang finished speaking, Zhao Duanlong interrupted again, saying, "Is it about 100 pieces? I will overestimate you 19 pieces." Zhao Duanlong's face was determined, his eyes fixed on Lin Haoyang, while on the other side, Yu Yangji spoke again. "I don't think junior brother is so unbearable. I guess it's between 102 to 103. Yu Yangji's words bit the word unbearable extremely severely, and then his face was full of pride. Because from Lin Haoyang's expression, it can be seen that the number of good fortune orbs condensed is more than that. However, looking at Yu Yangji's smug expression, Lin Haoyang showed embarrassment, and said, "I'm afraid I will disappoint the two seniors. In this closed-door training, I have gathered a total of 162 good fortune orbs." After all, Lin Haoyang used divine sense to project the Dantian space, and only 162 good fortune orbs revolved around the black and red gold core. Such a scene, like a starry sky and Milky Way, is quite beautiful. But Zhao Duanlong and Yu Yangji couldn't get the slightest appreciation, especially Zhao Duanlong, who was already pale at the moment. 162 good fortune orbs, thinking that back then, he condensed so many good fortune orbs, but it took almost 10 years, and now Lin Haoyang finished it in 5 years, which is really hard for him to accept. Yu Yangji was also a little surprised. In 5 years, Lin Haoyang had condensed 162 good fortune orbs, which is not like the speed that 3 spiritual roots cultivators should have. Could it be that Lin Haoyang has a unique talent for good fortune cultivation technique? How many people allowed him to surpass them? Suddenly, Yu Yangji's eyes condensed. From Lin Haoyang's projection, he saw that something was wrong. Lin Haoyang's gold core was not golden, but black and red, which was very strange. Gold core is pregnant, nascent soul. If something goes wrong with gold core, it will be a big deal. It's not sloppy at all. Yu Yangji's expression is serious and he asks, "Little junior brother, what's the matter with your inner alchemy?" After being mentioned by Yu Yangji, Zhao Duanlong also discovered the weirdness of Lin Haoyang's inner alchemy, so he also cast an inquiring look. Lin Haoyang didn't conceal this, and there was even a hint of warmth in his heart. After that, Lin Haoyang told them all about the process of the gold core becoming black. After Zhao Duanlong and Yu Yangji listened to them, they were all curious about the existence of Lin Haoyang's cultivation technique, which could actually change the color of inner alchemy. After Yu Yangji's investigation, it was found that Lin Haoyang's inner alchemy was not abnormal at all, but rather more powerful than the spirit power stored in the ordinary inner alchemy, and he was relieved. They have also seen Zan Zhenju. Although it has reached the 6th rank top level, it is still impossible to reach Lin Haoyang's level. This shows that the cultivation technique cultivated by Lin Haoyang is at least the same level of cultivation technique as good fortune weak heavenly tribulation. This cultivation technique is Lin Haoyang's secret. If Lin Haoyang doesn't say it, it is inconvenient for him to ask more. Afterwards, Lin Haoyang was driven out by the two, and they felt heartbroken when they saw Lin Haoyang. After leaving the immortal cave of the two, Lin Haoyang shrugged and went straight to the Xuanzhen sect on the mountainside. In the past 5 years, the Xuanzhen sect's boundary has doubled and hesitated, and the cultivator has added more than 2,000 people. Looking at these faces, Lin Haoyang was full of emotion. I think back then, when he personally laid down this spiritual vein, the place was still deserted, but now it is nowhere to be seen. When Lin Haoyang left the customs, he immediately alarmed Zan Junzong and Bai Zonkang to welcome him in person. Father Yu greeted him by himself, and Lin Haoyang was a little flattered. Looking at the familiar old friend in front of him, Lin Haoyang sighed with emotion. Still this familiar feeling was good, and then followed Bai Zonkang into the Xuanzhen sect, and Bai Zonkang began to introduce Lin Haoyang to the development of the Xuanzhen sect over the years. When he heard about Wan Hongshan's opening up and the annual income of over 1 million spirit stones, Lin Haoyang was already speechless in surprise. 1 million spirit stones are collected every year, and Qingyunzong is nothing more than that. How long has passed since then? Xuanzhenzong has caught up with the old sect like Qingyunzong, which is really shocking. What shocked Lin Haoyang even more? During the 5 years of Lin Haoyang's closed-door training, Lin Xuanjia and Dugu both broke into the Golden Core, bringing Xuanzhenzong's strength to the next level. In addition to the Golden Core, 50 foundation-building cultivators have been added, almost at a rate of 10 each year. If one can maintain this rate, Xuanzhenzong will have the base for the impact of high-ranked cultivators in the future. However, the most happiest thing is not from time to time. 6 months ago, Cao Ying finally insight into all the exquisites of Tianfeng, she integrated this method, and immediately blessed her heart. Knowing that it was the time of breakthrough, she directly closed door training and impacted nascent soul realm. Cao Ying hit nascent soul. Ouyang personally gave the baby pill. With the baby pill, plus her aptitude for spiritual roots, the impact on nascent soul was pretty good. If Cao Ying succeeds in making a breakthrough, then Xuanzhenzong will be the 5th-rank sect that deserves its name. Even if the Longtu line is withdrawn in the future, it will have a certain degree of self-protection strength. After staying for 10 days, Lin Haoyang discovered that the changes in Xuanzhenzong had far exceeded his imagination, and because of the rules specified by Zhao Duanlong, the number of rogue cultivators added each year was actually not very large. After Lin Haoyang's closed-door training, more than 300 cultivators were discovered in the Xuanzhen sect every year, and recently, this number has even approached 400. In just a few years, the population of the mortals who originally migrated to Chenjiangya has reached 1.5 million. It is precisely because of such a large population base that the number of Xuanzhen sect can grow so fast. Seeing that most of the increased people emerged from their own mortals, Lin Haoyang was relieved. The most important thing is that Zhan Junzong now has him and it doesn't make much difference. Staying here will definitely have to deal with a lot of sect things. So Lin Haoyang ran away by going to see Lin Xuanlin and Bai Qingyan. For 5 years of closed-door training, Lin Haoyang still missed the two very much. As for the relationship between Lin Haoyang and Lin Xuanlin, everyone also knew about it. Almost no one has any objections to this. Although Lin Xuanlin and Bai Qingyan are both Qingyunzong disciples, one is from the Bai family and the other is from the Lin family. Who dares to say that they are not the two? Most importantly, who dares to question Lin Haoyang? Not to mention his identity as a disciple of the Tao, just the prestige he has established in the colorful cloud cover, below nascent soul, no one dares to provoke him. It took 2 or 3 days before Lin Haoyang came to Qi Yunshan. This time Lin Haoyang was very careful and did not disturb Zhou Zunyuan, otherwise he would have to delay drinking with Zhou Zunyuan. After more than 5 years of development, Qi Yunshan has almost developed it, and there is no need for the 3 of Bai Qingyan to worry too much. When Lin Haoyang came, Bai Qingyan was pill refining, Lin Xuanlin was taking care of the elixir, and Su Linger was dealing with some simple things. Upon hearing the news of Lin Haoyang's arrival, Lin Xuanlin rushed back immediately, even interrupting Bai Qingyan's pill refining. Lin Haoyang is busy, and the 3 rarely see each other. What is it to waste a pot of medicine pill? As a result, the 3 of them lived a mortal life again, and Su Linger was envious of them. What surprised Su Linger most was that after Lin Haoyang came back, Bai Qingyan and Lin Xuanlin actually took a leap again at the cultivation base. In 5 years, Bai Qingyan has cultivated the 5-story Golden Core peak, and now he has directly entered the Golden Core 6-story late stage. Lin Xuanlin originally repaired to the early stage of the 3rd floor of the Golden Core, but when Lin Haoyang came back, the repair jumped directly to the 40% middle stage of the Golden Core. This matter quickly spread among Qingyan sect, Zhongshan Tower, and Xuanzhen sect. Almost every female cultivator wanted a Dao companion like Lin Haoyang. The growth of cultivation base is so abnormal, does it still need hard work? 67%. Chapter 400. Later, even Su Linger couldn't bear it, and asked Bai Qingyan and Lin Xuanlin when Lin Haoyang was away. This dual cultivation. Is it so good? Su Linger's face was flushed. Although she was not too young, she still didn't know anything about dual cultivation. Lin Xuanlin and Bai Qingyan are not newlyweds either. They shouldn't be shy when talking about this, but when they think of Lin Haoyang's pure Yuanyang, they are still a little shy. Actually, it's not as good as you said, Bai Qingyan said. Su Linger was full of disbelief, and said suspiciously, "Our friendship, do you want to lie to me?" Your cultivation base is soaring. I'm afraid Lin Haoyang will come back twice. You will surpass me. Bai Qingyan wanted to explain, but she didn't know where to start. Even she was very surprised that the yuan yang in Lin Haoyang's body remained constant. According to the book, the yuan yang of male cultivator is most effective only for the first time, and it will be much inferior afterwards, but Lin Haoyang still looks like the first time after 5 years. Oh, ask us about this kind of thing, we don't know either. Go ask Haoyang yourself. Aside, Lin Xuanlin joked. Su Ling'er's complexion turned red. Why was she embarrassed to ask about it, so she could only have a fun chat with Lin Xuanlin and Bai Qingyan. Time flies. Lin Haoyang has been in Qian Mountain for 2 months, and Lin Haoyang has lived extremely comfortably because of his peaceful life. But one day 2 months later, a golden core cultivator from the Dragon 2 family came and asked Lin Haoyang to go back, saying that important news came from the Jagged City. Lin Haoyang did not dare to delay, and immediately bid farewell to the 3 of Bai Qingyan and hurried back to worship Yizong. But what is strange is that on the way back to Lin Haoyang, the disciples of Qingyunzong looked at Lin Haoyang very curiously. Lin Haoyang was quite puzzled, if it wasn't for Zhao Duanlong to call him back in a hurry, otherwise he would definitely ask what was going on. However, when Lin Haoyang returned to Baiyu Mountain, this strange look still existed, especially for some female cultivators. Looking at Lin Haoyang's eyes, there was a hint of longing in his curiosity. If it weren't for Lin Haoyang to be the head teacher of Xuanzhen sect, I'm afraid they would all come up to give a hug. With a belly of doubt, Lin Haoyang saw Lin Qianlong and others, and said in doubt, Patriarch, how do I feel that there is something wrong in their eyes when they look at me? Listening to this, Lin Qianlong burst into laughter, looking at Lin Haoyang's unidentified appearance, very comfortable, and finally said, They are just curious. As soon as you go back, Lin Xuanlin and Bai Qingyan can grow a small realm's cultivation base. Tell me, when did Golden Core Cultivator Breakthrough Realm become so easy? Can you say that they are not curious? Quote. Lin Haoyang was taken aback, but he didn't expect that this matter had already been passed on to Xuanzhen sect. No wonder that when he left Zongyu Mountain, the Azure Cloud sect cultivator looked at him curiously. However, Lin Haoyang was also very helpless in this matter, and it was not easy to explain. His origin Yuanyang, because of cultivation good fortune Zhou heavenly tribulation, the origin has been greatly strengthened, and it has returned to its previous peak state. In this way, Lin Xuanlin and Bai Qingyan's cultivation base will show such progress. If it were not for the 5 years of hard work, he would not have been so excellent. But this matter will never be explained clearly, because it is impossible for him to disclose the secret of good fortune cultivation technique, which is the greatest secret of Jiling's line. Even Cao Ying and others have no right to know this secret, so Lin Haoyang can only bear everyone's curiosity silently. I don't know if the 3 senior brothers had such distress before. Lin Haoyang whispered to himself. Soon, Lin Haoyang came to the immortal cave of the 3 senior brothers on the top of Baiyu Mountain. This time, even Duan Hong was there. It was enough to see that this matter was indeed very important. Senior brother, see the 3 senior brothers. Lin Haoyang bowed and worshipped. He had always respected his 3 senior brothers. Haoyang is here. There are a lot of rumors about you now. Zhao Duanlong joked. Lin Haoyang's expression turned bitter, but he didn't expect that even the 3 seniors knew about it. Lin Haoyang showed a wry smile on his face and said, No way. Sometimes too strong, always jealous. The 3 of Zhao Duanlong trembled and almost got goosebumps all over their bodies. If they say that others don't know what's going on, can they still not know? Okay, don't pretend in front of us, we men Erqing, this time calling you here, I want you to go somewhere. Zhao Duanlong said. Lin Haoyang put away his jokes. Zhao Duanlong and the others wanted to guard the wilderness, and they could not leave easily. Since he was kicked, it showed that the matter was not easy. Brother, just say it. Zhao Duanlong nodded and said. East of the Terran is an infinite ocean. We call it the East China Sea. How big is the East China Sea? The Terran used to have a cultivator to explore. After flying for a year, we couldn't find the end. The East China Sea is vast and boundless, and its internal resources are even richer. It is ruled by the Sea Clan. After 20,000 years of war, the human race only occupied the shallow sea area of 50,000 miles offshore. As for the deeper part, the human race simply can't get involved. Not long ago, a secret realm was discovered in the East China Sea. It should be the place where a treasure chest was located in the immortal world. Quote. Hearing the 3 words, Treasure Pavilion. Lin Hao's eyes were bright. The treasure pavilion in the immortal realm must contain a lot of treasures. Maybe it contains the magical item of immortal Dao. However, what Lin Haoyang is curious about, such an important matter, why let him go? It is possible to find that the hidden treasure pavilion of magical items should not be the main battlefield of Hedao and Washan. Seeing Lin Haoyang's doubts, Wu Yangji answered. The secret realm in this space is extremely unstable. With the cultivation base, which combines Dao and gods, I am afraid that it will collapse that space. Therefore, all forces are trying their best to select the golden core cultivator. And you are our very spiritual line. Most suitable. So Master sent a letter, let you rush to Jagged City. Quote. Hearing this, Lin Haoyang understood the original situation. Since this is the case, he really must visit the East China Sea. 3 brothers, although I have few rivals in Golden Core realm, do I still have to give me some information about each case in Donghai? Lin Haoyang asked in a low voice. This is also a helpless move, thinking that in the colorful thousand clouds, she didn't even know Long Tu Yimai's signature cultivation technique, heaven, earth and human 3 swords, really losing face. This kind of thing, we even have to worry about you. You, Duan Hong Yij. After all, 3 jade slips flew towards Lin Haoyang. The first jade slip briefly introduced the cultivation technique of the 7 great combinations and the powerful golden core cultivator. The second one is the cultivation technique of the major 6th rank forces and the stronger golden core cultivator. The third one is an introduction to the East China Sea. There are some sea races in it, and the strength will not be weaker than you. After all, there are only a dozen threats to you. Quote. Lin Haoyang's mouth twitched, about 10. Less. This is an accidental rhythm that he will die. However, when he carefully checked the content on Jade Slip, Lin Haoyang's expression became serious. The 10 or so Duan Hong said, I'm afraid they are still few. How did these abnormalities be cultivated? Did you grow up eating spirit stones? Lin Haoyang only took a cursory look. Among them, 3 of them have killed nascent soul, more of them fought nascent soul without losing the wind, and some of them have never exposed their strength. As for his current strength to that point, he himself doesn't know, but he knows that if he can reach the 9th floor of the golden core and cut the nascent soul early stage, it will not be difficult for him. But the key thing now is that he is only at the late stage of the golden core 5th floor, and it will probably be a while before the 6th floor of the golden core. A while before the 6th floor of the golden core. A while before the 6th